Sorry, y'all. I was messing with some stuff, and I think I screwed up a whole bunch of stuff, and so I'm trying to fix it. And I'm not doing a great job, to be completely honest with you. Doing actually a really bad job, if you want me to be all the way honest. Doing a real bad job. I was trying to add something new and cool. But it just looks dumb. It just looks really dumb. All right, I'm gonna click something, and if it screws up everything, it's Megan's fault. Okay. Okay. All right. Goal has ended. All right. I don't know 100% what that just did. Okay. I know it put something up there. I don't know what I'm doing. They put all these buttons in front of me, and I never know what I'm doing. Okay? No, if it works, it's on me. If it fails, it's on Megan. Do you guys even pay attention to what I'm doing here? Okay? It's only Megan's fault if it fails. Duh. Okay? If it's working well, then I 100% did it on my own with no help from anyone, and I'm a big boy and I deserve a sticker. Okay? I'm a big boy and I deserve a sticker. Okay? And by sticker, I mean a new tattoo. In case anyone was wondering. What is this thing? I want one of these. All right. Well, I put this sub goal thingy up here for the landscape lives. I don't know if it's going to work at all. I literally have no idea. We'll see if someone subs or becomes a member, whether that works or not. I have zero faith in it. Yeah. Kayun, thank you so much for the $3 super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And the sticker. Big W's the chat to start the thing out with Kayun. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We got Get Little with the little streak over there going on Twitch. That's awesome. If it failed, Megan failed. I did nothing wrong. I am innocent and I have done nothing wrong. Okay? Money, please. Oh, Mystic did it. It didn't work. It's not working. Oh, sad face. Cause saying ended. Why does it say goal has ended? Doesn't make any sense. What if I do it for that day? All right, so we're gonna do this. I'll tell you that much. So it didn't work, but I can do that. So that's pretty cool. Mystic, thank you so much for the gifted membership. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Taurus with the 5 gifteds right behind that. Big W's in the chat for Taurus for the 5 gifteds. I really appreciate that for y'all trying to help me figure out how the heck that thing works and failing miserably. So thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Q, it rhymes with Q. It rhymes with Q. Q. So I'm just going to call you Q then. Is that how that works? Can I just call you Q? I'm gonna call you Q and see how that works. All right. We're gonna just I don't know why it says goal has ended. I don't know what I'm doing. But I can't waste the whole night just trying to make this thing work for some reason. Because it says on here, it says I have. Oh goodness, that's too much movement for me. It says on here, it's like, oh, goal amount. You have so many more to go. Caillou. Now you're making me sound like an idiot over here, okay? Doing my best. I'm trying. I'm trying so hard. Okay. I'm trying so hard. I'm trying so hard. I'm doing the best I can. Kuhn? 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 Like Kuhn? Kuhn? Oh, okay, got it. I'm good now. I'm good. Kuhn. Got it. We're good now. Okay? You guys have seen me before get in these little circles, all right? Like where like I can't pronounce something and it's like gonna drive me nuts until I do. So thank you guys so much for sticking with me on that. Raging Butterfly, thank you so much for becoming a member and becoming part of the team. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. That is very, very sweet of you. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Wow, we're just bouncing off the walls with the memberships today. We're just coming off the walls of the memberships today. Thank you guys so much. I, again, don't think this thing is picking up when I get stuff. I don't think it's picking up when I get stuff. Which actually, now that I think about it, kind of makes sense. I'm actually kind of thinking about it now, and I'm like, actually, where is it picking it up from? It wouldn't be picking it up from it. Yeah. See, I think I'm screwing up here. Me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. It's me. It's me. I'm the problem. I'm actually looking for something else now that I'm like, maybe I can. I wonder if this tool has it. See, that's really cool. I think I could probably figure it out, but probably not today. I'm pretty sure I might be able to use like what I use like over here and what I use to do this to do it, maybe? I think I could probably do it that way. So we're gonna try that at some point. I was gonna try to do it manually, and then I was like, no, I'll mess that up so bad. I can't count. How am I supposed to do that? I can't count. If we're already at 7 new members today, if I get past 10, I have to take my shoes and socks off, and I don't think this is the right streaming site for that. All right. I don't think this is the right streaming site for that. All right. You gotta pay extra for that one. Okay. You gotta pay a bit extra for that one. I definitely can't do the donut thing. I'll tell you that much. That's for damn sure. Oh no, my hoodie's on the ground. Ow! I don't want this hoodie to get messed up. I like that hoodie. I know the background kind of washes me out, and I'm just letting it go because it's orange and spooky. I know it does. I was trying to get to like a darker orange, but it all just looks red. I just go like, I want something like spooky though. Maybe that's a little better. No, not really. Yeah, the blue is what looks good. I love the blue one. The blue looks awesome. I was trying to be festive. All right. I was trying to be festive. I was trying to be fast. I was trying to be festive. I don't know. Some people like the blue. Some people like the orange. I don't know. I definitely see how the orange washes me out, though. I noticed that the other day. I noticed that the orange washed me out the other day. Veronica said, did my online anniversary pass yet? Yes, it did. Yeah, blue fits the style more. We're going to go back to the blue for a bit. Yes, it did. The problem is I don't know when my online anniversary was. I just started streaming one day and then I just kept going. Okay? I didn't like mark it on the calendar. The orange makes me look like I have a tan. All right, I'm not going to keep switching the color back and forth, y'all. We're going to have to pick one. All right? We're going to have to pick one. And you know what I'm picking? I'm picking we're going back to the orange. We're staying there. We're staying there until after Halloween. We're doing it. We're staying there. We're staying with the orange till after Halloween. Halloween's tomorrow. Everyone can live with it. No, I know it was in October, Veronica. I do know I started streaming in October. When in October? Couldn't tell you. One of the days in October. All right. One of the days in October. So, I know a lot of people like to celebrate like their online anniversaries and stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't really like I don't know. For me, I don't like for me, I don't personally care. Like personally. Like personally, like the day I started streaming like doesn't really mean much to me. Like it's about this time, all right? I'm looking I'm looking forward, right? All right. I'm looking forward. All right. Not backwards. We'll go to the blue after Halloween's over. Okay. I'm not even streaming tomorrow. This is your last day to get the orange. Okay? This is literally the last day to get the orange. All right. It's your last day. Saturday, I'll be back on. It'll be past Halloween. All right. It'll be a different month. And then we'll do something different for that month. If you want the blue, come back and see me on Saturday. Okay. For Christmas, I'll just have the whole time, it'll just be red and green flashing lights. Just as loud as just the most obnoxious, fast flashing lights I can find. Okay. Can't make any of y'all happy. Can't make any of y'all happy. All right, y'all. Welcome in. We're just getting this thing started, y'all. Please make sure you hit that follow button and subscribe button if you haven't already. We're already getting this thing started out with a few members. So if you'd like to become a member, it's always a great way to support the live. I don't like that very much. That green thing that just popped up, I don't like that. It's a great way to support the live. And you can do that by going to where you went to subscribe on my main page. Hit that join button, and that's a great way to do it. If you'd also like to gift memberships to other people, that's also a great way you can do that too. Is to click on, well, there's a few places where you can gift them on here. So if you'd like to gift or anything like that, then yeah. It's always fun. We love that. Also have super chats open, all that fun stuff. All right. I'm going to open up the phone line, see if we can get this thing started. Really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Now that we're done arguing about colors. Also, if you'd like to become a sub on Twitch, you can do that through the links there also. Or you can get it free with Amazon Prime, which is also cool. So there's a few different ways you can do it. There's a whole bunch of awesome ways. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm good.
Awesome. How old are you? How old are you?
13.
Nope. Hello, how are you?
Hey.
How old are you?
67.
Oh, okay. Six, seven. Sorry. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. How old are you?
21.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do, yeah.
Awesome. Why would you do that?
A couple reasons. I guess the reason I voted for him in the first place was just because a lot of other people had this reason as well, but more or less the other side, in my eyes, would have been more damaging than Trump. And for those reasons, that's why I voted. But the main political supporting reasons that I voted was the immigration issues.
God, I am so sick and tired of hearing you guys talk about this shit. Are you there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, awesome. So if there's a bunch of firefighters putting out a fire in the house, and on house, right?
Okay.
And I go up and I shoot all of those firefighters, right? And kill them, and they can't put out the fire.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I go put out the fire. Do I get credit for putting out the fire?
That's a very odd question. Why are we shooting people?
Right.
I don't
because I wanted credit for putting out the fire. If they put it out, then I wouldn't be able to.
I don't think you get credit for putting out any fire. I think you go to jail for shooting people.
But I put out the fire. Whether I go to jail or not, do I get credit for putting out the fire?
No, I think you get in trouble for shooting
No, no, no.
people.
That's fine, sir. You know you can do both, right? You can put out a fire and go to jail, right? Those two things can go
Okay.
together, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get. Maybe you were the one who put out the fire, but nobody's going to commend you for it
Why not?
because you just shot a bunch of people in the process.
You mean because I stopped the people that? What if I didn't shoot them? What if I just, threatened them and they all ran off?
Okay.
What if I called in like a bomb threat to it? Or maybe instead of that, maybe I just went up and stabbed their hose so they didn't have the ability to put out the fire. How about that? Is that better for you to follow along with?
Okay. So you stab the firefighter's hose and then put out the fire yourself. Should you get credit for putting out the fire?
Yes.
You know, if you put out the fire, that's great, but you're still causing problems. So I don't think.
So you mean you don't get the credit for the problem that you caused?
Explain.
It's a question. Do you get credit if you're the reason the problem wasn't already solved?
I don't believe so.
Okay, awesome. Donald Trump called the Senate under the Biden administration and told them not to pass the immigration policy that the Republicans wrote for the sole reason that he could run against Biden on it. Okay?
Okay.
Donald Trump wanted to be able to run against Biden on immigration. Joe Biden had the immigration problem fixed with a policy and a bill that was written primarily by Republicans. So it's crazy to have Donald Trump stop the immigration bill that would have fixed it, essentially stabbing the water hose. Okay.
Okay.
And then you now giving him credit and being like, he's the person that can fix the border. No, he's the reason that the border needs fixing.
Can I clarify my stance on immigration? Because mine is different from a lot of Republican people. So I personally believe that we should be getting rid of like violent offenders and people who, I'm not in support of getting rid of like landscapers, right? Because they're just here to like make money and feed their families, and they're assimilating well, and that's what people should be allowed to do. But the criminals, that's my thing. Like if people are stabbing, shooting, stealing, I think you should be out.
Then you're not talking about Donald Trump's immigration policy, sir. You're talking about Joe Biden's.
Actually, under Joe Biden's rule.
Hold on. Stop right there. Nobody has rule in the presidency.
Okay, well, under his administration, sorry, poor wording. Under his administration, we had Venezuelan gangs taking over apartment buildings.
We actually did not.
Yeah.
Actually, the chief of police, the mayor, and the governor, and all of the police officers there confirmed that was a made-up story spread around online, and it never happened.
I would okay. Would there be somewhere where you could send me to see that? That'd be really
sure, sir. It's not hard to find at all. Like literally everyone there confirmed. They're talking about Aurora, Colorado, okay, where Fox News got on there and said that Venezuelan gangs were taking over fucking apartment complexes, when in reality there was some local gang members. They weren't Venezuelan. Okay, they were American citizens who were gang members that were selling drugs out of a apartment complex, and the police did a raid, arrested all of them, and they all went to jail. That was the whole thing.
Okay. My thing
but sir, Biden's policy that he tried to pass, okay, that he was stopped by Donald Trump on doing, okay, secured the border, would have automatically put in automatic shutdowns to the border, would have made it harder to get in under asylum, would have made it harder to get in illegally because it would have added to border patrol, would have added wall, would have added technology. Biden's policy that Donald Trump stopped from happening. So again, sir, you can say under Biden, that's fine. Okay. But it was under Biden that he was stopped by Trump from doing that. Okay. So Trump stopped him from being able to do all that stuff that you want. And instead, he used that in order to beat Biden in a race for him to then make ICE, I think it's the 6th or the 8th largest force on the planet. They are more funded than the Israeli military. Okay? And he is using that to go after non-criminals because his deputy chief of staff, Stephen Miller, told the leaders of ICE specifically to stop going after criminals and stop using your resources to go after criminals and start going to Home Depots and 7-Elevens. Okay? So if you're in support of Trump,
I disagree with that part.
no, then you're not in support of Donald Trump's policy. Because that's Donald Trump's policy. Less than 15% of the people that he's even apprehending or arresting have any criminal record outside of just crossing the border, which is a civil infraction. If you want to just go after criminals, I agree with you. That's not Trump's policy.
Yeah, and here's the thing is I think there are people that are taking it too far, and they are stepping into Home Depot, and they are profiling, and I think that's wrong. But I also think that that wasn't the goal, and people do take it too far. And as human nature, unfortunately, profiling is just what bad people do.
Sir,
but
the Trump do you know who Stephen Miller is?
I do.
Okay, so you know he works directly for Trump.
I've heard the name.
Okay, he works directly for Trump. Okay? He briefed ICE to purposefully go after people that aren't criminals. These aren't people on the ground, okay, that are making this decision on their own. This is the White House telling them to racially profile. This is the White House telling them to not go after criminals. That is what Trump's immigration policy is.
Okay, can I respond to that? Because is that briefing is that like a public phone record that I could listen to, or is that just put out on an article by a news company?
That was directly reported by the ICE leadership that was in the meeting. Multiple of them.
Here's my thing is when something when that big of a statement is made, anecdotal evidence is super important. I would need to hear that. That's not
anecdotal evidence. That is a primary source.
Well, yeah, but I'd need to hear that in recording. You can't. Unfortunately,
that's ridiculous. Then.
Okay, is it ridiculous to
Yeah.
Based off because anyone can make any claim. How is that?
Well, this claim is backed up by multiple different people that were in the meeting, and on top of that, literally the next day, the entire policy across ICE changed where they stopped going after criminals and started going after people at 7-Elevens and Home Depots and Cardenas markets. Literally, they said that we know that Stephen Miller called a meeting to the White House. We have the people that went to that meeting saying, hey, this is what was said at the meeting. And then the next day, ICE starts going after the exact people that they say.
Okay. I guess I'd need to look more into the anecdotal evidence on that.
That's not anecdotal.
Debate you well.
That's not anecdotal.
There has to be evidence somewhere.
Sir, what's anecdotal? Do you know what anecdotal means?
Give me your definition.
No, give me my definition. You keep saying it. What does it mean?
Complete 100% proof that so I need to hear it in audio.
Sir, if that's the case, then how many undocumented immigrants are there on the United States?
Unfortunately, the numbers aren't very clear right now.
How many do you think?
That I couldn't even give you a guess right now.
All right, so there's 3.
Well, we know there's more than that.
How?
So, because of there are statistics that I've said in the millions.
Sir, I'm sorry. You can show me your statistics and all the people that professionally do this that would count them, but that's just anecdotal, right? I would need to be able to count them or have a recording of somebody else counting every single one of them in order to know how many people are here, right?
Yeah, but here's how we can tell. There's statistics about people crossing the border, and that's not encounters, that's actual crossings.
But sir, you didn't count them, so how can you know? And you don't have a recording of them being counted, so how do you know?
Well, okay, that's a completely different thing.
No, sir, if you're saying the only way for you to know with absolute truth is that it was on recording, then I would imagine that you would need a recording of every single person being counted in order to believe that they're here. Or are you telling me that there are groups of people who would be considered trusted sources in the matter, right? And we can look at those trusted sources and we can trust that data, especially when that data is backed up by other independent agencies, right?
Okay.
That are looking at that data and collecting data also. Or is that what you're telling me?
So maybe let me re-explain. Maybe there's no recording of Donald Trump briefing people, but is there a recording of the ICE personnel that were in that meeting saying that themselves? Or again, is this just the news outlet saying that the people in the meeting said something? You know what I mean? Because that's the thing.
No, I don't. You're just saying that when people say stuff, unless it's on recording, you don't believe it, which is crazy.
That's
all right.
True.
Well, Stephen Miller's on recording saying he's a neo-Nazi.
He's on recording saying he is?
Yeah.
That's okay. Well, I'd love to see that.
Well, you can find that whenever you like. That's easy.
Oh, okay. I'll definitely work into that. But yeah, I guess it's really important to hear it come out of somebody's mouth.
No, it's not.
Directly. Otherwise, you cannot trust blatant news sources. I don't trust Fox News.
Blatant news sources is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about every news source directly quoting people with direct knowledge of the situation. And I'm talking about the policy change that happened after that we saw ICE change their tactics. Unless you are trying to convince me that the meeting that we know happened, right? Because we know that because he called the meeting. Yep. Then all the people got into the same room, right? We know that. And then those people walked out of the room, were so upset, like annoyed by what had just happened. They were so like, oh my God, this is a problem for America, that they went and told people, and they're like, hey, y'all should be reporting on this because this is like really bad stuff, right? And then the following day, everything they said Stephen Miller told them to do, we watched it happen.
Okay. How did we watch it? Like, are we taking just like snippets from Reddit? Like, what do you mean by we watched it happen? Because there's a lot of just snippets on Reddit of people freaking out, and they may be illegal people getting detained that could be criminals. Like, there's just a whole lot of video with a whole lack of context. So when you say we saw it happen, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, so if we don't have video and audio recording of Stephen Miller, then it didn't happen. But then if we do have video of freaking ISIS horrific acts, then we need more context and more stuff on it. And then I'm assuming once I gave you more context and stuff on it, then you would probably want more information, to, I don't know, do something, because it sounds like you just don't want to believe what's going on.
No, because even if we have audio and video of things are taken out of context. You can take a clip of someone saying one little thing, but you have to have the surrounding text. You have to have that surrounding
So
context.
What would you need as proof, sir? You need everything to be fucking recorded? Do you think we should just let out every fucking murderer that's in prison right now that we don't have a direct recording of?
Wait, what? Wait, what are you talking about?
Well, obviously, sir, if we don't have a direct recording of these murders, then we probably should just let them out because we don't know for sure that it happened. Like, there's no burden of proof. And then even if we have a video of them directly killing them, there's probably more context someplace that we should, that we should probably look into. We should just let all of these murderers out of prison like tomorrow. Like, we should do it right now because there's no way we're going to get, a burden of proof that's good enough for you ever.
Okay, can I respond to that? Because we need proof to convict people, and it's video and DNA proof. So
do you think every murderer is convicted off of either video or DNA proof?
Or witnesses. So
no, sir. There are vast numbers of people in prison right now that were not convicted on DNA, that were not convicted on eyewitnesses, that were not convicted on video evidence. Are you joking me right now?
For murder?
Yes.
We're talking about murder.
Yes.
What are they being convicted under?
Yes.
How are they being convicted if it's not DNA, fingerprinting, because I will add that, fingerprinting, or video evidence? How are they being convicted?
Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry. This is just funny. This is just funny. Okay.
That's fine. I guess my whole thing to get out of this is proof is important. Taking people's word for something is very dangerous. Even if it's someone in power, you need to look at the context of what somebody says, and you need to have proof of.
So
somebody
if I
saying
have
something
witness,
too.
so you're saying like those people in jail that had witnesses that it happened, do you think that they should stay in jail?
I think witnesses are slippery slope, unfortunately, because you're basing it off of someone else's word. But a lot of people are convicted based off of witnesses. And
But we should let those
that's-
people out then, right?
No, of course not.
Why not?
Because a jury decided that they were guilty and they went through our legal system.
Oh, gotcha.
And
And juries
obviously
are
our
always
legal
100%
system-
right. So that's good.
No, obviously our legal system is flawed, but that's why there are organizations working on getting people that are wrongfully convicted out.
Yeah.
But
We should
again,
start with all the
that-
people where there was witnesses to the murder. That'd be the first place we should start, right? We should just start with every time someone saw someone directly commit the crime and then testified in court that they committed that crime. Those are the first people we should just let out of prison. I completely agree.
Well, we shouldn't let people out of prison, but I think it would be a lot easier to investigate if we didn't have DNA and video evidence, right? Because if we don't have those things, then it gets to be a slippery slope. Obviously, we're relying on
Well,
someone.
I'll
telling
tell
the
you
truth
what,
in
sir.
court.
If I'm ever on criminal trial for anything, I'm gonna call you up. I want you in my jury. Okay.
Well, you better hope there's no proof against you. And
Well, I'm sure I could have people that saw me do it. You wouldn't believe it. So who cares?
We'd need to vet those witnesses. That's like a whole nother different conversation. But again, back to my point, I think proof is important, especially because
Okay. Here's the proof. Okay. Here's the proof. Who's the president?
Donald Trump.
Who said that they were going to have the largest mass deportation effort since the Mexican Repatriation Act, which saw over 1 million U.S. citizens deported?
I'm not sure.
That'd
who
be
said
Donald
that.
Trump. Okay, who called immigrants the vermin that is poisoning the blood of blood of America? A direct quote out of Mein Kampf. Who was that?
I would assume we're going with Donald Trump.
That is
again,
also
because
Donald Trump, who is currently in charge of the current immigration policies, okay, which have deported over 160 American citizens, okay, who have deported cancer children without their medicine, who have deported people and used American taxpayer dollars to fund sending people that have committed no crime to a torture prison, who have freaking tried to send people to African nations that they are not from, okay, who have separated families, who have separated children, okay, who have freaking raided people's houses and freaking ripped their children out of their arms, deported children away from people, who have lost almost 2,000 different immigrants to God knows who where. Who's in charge of that immigration policy right now?
That would be ICE.
And who's in charge of ICE?
The president.
Awesome. Thank you. So there's my fucking proof. Okay.
So
The proof
ICE
is
makes
that all of
mistakes.
these
There's
things
your
are happening.
proof?
No, these aren't mistakes, sir. These are not mistakes. Donald Trump is paying the government of El Salvador to house people who have committed no crime in a prison that is worldwide known and brags about torturing people.
Those are criminals being sent there.
No, they are. What crime have they been convicted of?
They haven't been convicted. That's why they're being sent
What's
over
the
there.
definition of a
to be honest
criminal?
with you, this is, and what I told you at the beginning, I support criminals getting sent away. I do not want people going after like landscapers, right? That's not what I voted for, and that's not what I support. So nobody's perfect, and this is the thing, is I think Donald Trump has many faults, and I'm going to say that right away. Nobody's perfect, and picking apart everything people make mistakes on, that's fine.
Sir,
You can
sir,
point out a
so-
lot of mistakes
so
that are
ju-
made, but
Just to be clear,
overall
he
support
mistakenly
policy.
put 200 people who have not been convicted of a crime He mistakenly put them on planes and then mistakenly flew them to El Salvador and then mistakenly gave the El Salvadorian government $8 million after a meeting, to which the leader of El Salvador mistakenly said that the U.S. government is paying us to put them in this prison. And then they mistakenly put them in that prison again after being committing no crime. And then Donald Trump mistakenly got on stage and bragged about that.
Okay. ICE is in charge of this, and everything that ICE does not always go back to the president. So I would say that does our ICE office need to be looked into? Because if there's a lot of these things happening, I'm not going to 100% say that Trump is making every single shot. He's not necessarily calling every single shot in this operation.
I did. You did hear the part in there where Donald Trump met with the president of El Salvador, and the president of El Salvador in front of him said that they had agreed about that. And then also the part where Donald Trump brags about it. Did you miss all of that part?
No, but
oh, okay. But I'm sure Donald Trump, it's probably not Trump. It's probably just the people under him. He probably doesn't even know anything about it. Does the guy even know where he's at? He had a really hard time with that dementia test, so maybe he doesn't know where he's at.
Let me finish though. So I'm saying, was Donald Trump taking ICE's word that all of these people were criminals? Because did ICE make the mistake of picking up some
ICE
people
convict people?
Criminals? And they report to Trump and they say, oh, well, we got this many criminals. We're going to send, what do you want to do with them? Oh, they're all criminals. Let's send them to Venezuela.
Gotcha. So what you're saying is Donald Trump is incompetent.
Is he vetting all of those people and making sure they are criminals himself, or is he taking ICE's word for it?
Gotcha. So what you're saying is he's incompetent and works for incompetent and has people that are incompetent working for him.
Everybody, to every government, there is a level of incompetency. No government is perfect.
There's a difference between perfect and incompetence, because Donald Trump got on television, put a picture of a guy with photoshopped tattoos in Arial font, and said that was proof that he was a criminal. So Donald Trump knew that he hadn't been convicted of a crime. Okay? Do tattoos make you a criminal?
Was this man?
I have a tattoo right here. Okay, you can barely see it, but it has the number 13 on that. Am I now part of MS-13?
We aren't talking about tattoos, though. We're talking about.
But that's what Donald Trump said made this guy a criminal. He showed us a picture of a guy with a tattoo and said that because he has a tattoo, he's a criminal.
He said because he has a tattoo, he has criminal.
He even put the picture up. He brought up visual aids.
Okay, but why was that man picked up in the first place?
Because he was Latino.
How do you know that?
Because ICE has already been found in court, 4 different court cases in 4 different states for racial profiling, which again,
but does that mean
is not unexpected because Stephen Miller is a giant racist, okay, who thinks that racial profiling is something that should be included in our criminal justice system. And again, he's quoted saying that.
Okay, well, this conversation isn't about the faults of Stephen Miller. It's about the faults of ICE.
Well, sir, if it's if Stephen Miller
agents that are making arrests,
if Stephen Miller is directing ICE, then it's about both.
Okay, again, is this you just said that this guy that was picked up for having tattoos and being Latino? There is no proof of that.
Yes, there is, because we actually have how to find an MS-13 member checklist, actually.
Yeah, if they have gang tattoos, then that would be one of them. So I would sure hope.
Yeah, except for gang tattoos can be something like the number 13. Actually, just this tattoo I showed right here, because it has a little number 13 in the beanie right there. I think that's 5 points towards the 11 points I need to be considered part of MS-13. Isn't that crazy?
I don't believe that you would be doing criminal activities, though.
I don't have to be doing criminal. Sir, if I was actually wearing a Bulls jersey, that gives me 3 more points.
Okay, if you're wearing a Bulls jersey in Chicago, in a sketchy part of town, you should not be profiled. But if they're looking at you a little closer, that's not a bad idea, right? Because that is unfortunately what gang members tend to wear. So like we're going to look at what people tend to wear. Obviously, we're going to convict people on what their actions are. But if like, for example, if I wear like a Second Amendment right shirt into a banned gun zone or something, are people going to profile me as someone who's possibly carrying? Yeah, probably. That's just how that works. Like people,
Well, you
people
heard
make
it first, guys.
observations.
If you're Latino or brown or might be Latino and you're wearing a Bulls jersey, this MAGA thinks that the police should look into you a little bit more. You're probably a gang member.
I did not say you're probably
Maybe they
a
should
gang
follow you
member.
around a store or something like that. Maybe pull you over, just make sure you're not up to no good in this neighborhood.
I did not say that. You just twisted my words. But if that's what this is about, then I had a good debate
Sir,
with
you
you. I will
literally
look into
said
your
the
certificate.
words, if you are in Chicago wearing a Bulls jersey in a sketchy part of town, then the police should look more into you. That was
I
a
just said,
dead
don't be mad
fucking
if
quote
they
from what
look
you
your
just said.
way more.
That was a dead quote from what you just said. So the fact that
Okay,
you're
yep.
sitting here trying to twist it to make it sound like I changed your words, okay? I didn't. Okay? That's what
No,
you said. You
just
said that
added
with
to
your
them. I didn't
own fucking
even say
racist
no.
mouth. You said that out of your own racist mouth. Don't try to give me credit for it, okay? That's all you,
No,
bud.
wait. You added black and Latino. I never said race. I never said that. That's not true. You just added those things and then smeared me. That's literally a lie. I said, no matter who you are, if you're wearing gang colors in a gang sketchy area of town, yes, that is going to look bad.
My bad.
That's
Sorry,
just
guys.
common sense.
Guys, he also thinks if you're white and wearing a Bulls jersey, you should be looked into. My apologies, guys. I'm so sorry. That's the part that I offended him on, by the way. The part I offended him on was he also thinks if you're white and wearing a Bulls jersey in Chicago, the police should look more into you. In Chicago, not someone in. He literally said in Chicago. Okay, all right. So if you're white, also you should you should watch your back. We're sending ICE after you. You might be one of those those Latinos that just look white, right? And we can't risk you just walking around, right?
Why are you bringing race into this? I didn't even say white. You literally, okay, dude, why are you bringing this race card into things? I said if you're wearing gang colors, okay, a Bulls jersey, very common. That's one of the, red Bulls jersey. You could be wearing a red bandana, but I use Bulls jersey and as an example. If you're wearing gang colors in a sketchy part of town, if you get looked into, don't get mad. That's just how
What's a
things work.
sketchy part of town?
Known gang areas would be a sketchy part of town.
Known gang area is a sketchy part of town. That's interesting. I grew up in a known gang area.
I'm sorry, that was really hard. I know many people that grew up
No, it wasn't.
known gang
Actually,
areas.
it was totally fine.
I know 2 people who grew up in known gang areas and
Who
had to listen to gunshots every single night.
primarily lives in known gang areas?
Everybody. Just it's a city. People
So a
live
whole
in the
city is a known gang area. Gotcha.
No, you asked.
So
who
I guess
primarily
all
lives
of
there.
Chicago
All types
is
of
just a
people.
known gang area. That's interesting.
No, I said sketchy part of towns. All types of people live in known gang areas. We're not here to talk about race. That's not what this is about. We're here to talk about wearing gang colors in a sketchy part of town.
And by gang
aka
colors, you
a
still
gang
mean
area.
a Chicago Bulls jersey in Chicago.
That was an example. I could have given some better gang colors, just like how.
Yeah, maybe like a Lakers jersey in LA, or maybe like a New York Yankees hat in New York. Some of these really rough gang colors, like, oh goodness, great, is that Dodger blue in Los Angeles? We better look out for these guys. They're going crazy. I I bet you me wearing my San Diego or my LA Chargers gear is probably gang stuff too. There's some blue, there's some gold in there. You never know who I could be repping up in this spot. I wear my jersey all the time.
Oh, okay. Let's use some common sense here. If you
Sir,
got
I've been
okay,
waiting for
let's
you to
say-
use common sense this entire conversation.
Yeah, wearing gang colors in a gang area, a sketchy part of town, that's pretty common sense. And again, doesn't need to be Chicago. You just gave an example. If you're wearing a blue LA hat in LA with a bandana, blue shorts, blue shoes, that is not necessarily a good sign. And especially if you're in a heavy gang infested area in town, that doesn't look great. And especially if you're someone who's doing that and you're not in a gang, you can get shot. So I would say
Gotcha.
don't do that.
So let me ask you a question. So when the ICE agents, okay, were in DC, right, protected by the National Guard, right, and they were being ripped off of bicycles and out of their cars because they were Uber drivers, okay, which gang was that? Is that like the big Uber gang? Because they were in a rough part of town delivering for that Uber. So, which gang were they repping in DC? Just out of curiosity, was that like the big Uber gang?
Back into where context is important. You saw them get ripped off a bicycle on Reddit, but do you know, was there an investigation that went on prior to that? And they're like,
There was
"Look,
not.
He's on a bike. Now we can get him."
Actually, there
How do
was
you know
not
that?
because they were
How do you
sued,
know
and we
that?
found out there was no evidence.
Okay, well then that's a poor ICE choice.
Yeah,
They made
actually,
a
they
poor
were sued
decision.
for racial profiling, and the court found that they were
And also-
racial profiling Latinos in DC and
They
in
were
multiple other
sued,
states across the
but
United
were they
States.
found
Is that
guilty?
enough
Okay,
context for you that 4 different states have sued them for racial profiling?
They sued them, but did they win the court case?
Oh, gotcha. Oh no, maybe you should go look up the context.
Okay, I haven't looked into those lawsuits. That's new to me, so I definitely will.
For somebody who wants
I-
context so much, you don't seem to find much.
I see your points are something that I haven't heard when debating someone that sees your values and thinks like you. So I will definitely look into
Yeah,
that.
my
I
values
looked at
of
you-
not racially profiling people and treating people like human beings. That's such a man. You should really try to see things more from my side and my point of view. That's crazy. I mean, it's not even like it was a really like tough one. You know what I'm saying? It's just don't racially profile people. Okay, don't send people to foreign torture prisons for wearing a jersey. Okay, that one's pretty cool. All right. Like these aren't like super difficult things that like I'm throwing out there. We're not like on an in-depth like conversation about, about policy or anything like that. We are literally I am one of those radical fucking leftists, okay, that
I
just
didn't
believes
say that.
No, I'm saying that. I'm one of those radical leftists, okay, who believes that people should be treated like human beings and not racially profiled. Gosh,
Okay.
I'm so far to
You
the
took
left.
me out of context
I'm pretty
again
much on.
because I just
Does
said
that
this.
make is that what communism is? I'm pretty sure that's
Here's
what
what I
communism is. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm
Here's what I
pretty
said
much
from
I'm the next
beginning.
I'm the next Karl Marx over here believing
Can
that
I-
crazy
can I
stuff.
speak? Okay. Again, from the beginning, I've always supported only criminals, right? And if there's mistakes being made, I don't support that. I told you that from the very beginning. Let's be clear. I do not want someone like a landscaper who's assimilated well with the culture. You know, they're paying, they're working, they're buying food for their family, they're supporting their family, they're not causing
Sir,
problems.
That
That
is
what
who
I'm okay with those
Donald
people saying.
Trump is targeting. Over 80% of the people he's arrested or detained have no criminal record outside of illegal crossing.
And
If
that's
you
what- and that's the
sir,
thing
it's so
I
it
didn't
is straight up
say
no,
it.
sir, stop. If you support Donald Trump, that is what you support. Okay? If you don't support that and you think he should be going after criminals, then you don't support Donald Trump's immigration policy. It's just that simple. You're for some reason trying to do both. Okay? You're trying to make it where you're like, oh, I support Donald Trump's immigration policy, but I don't support any of the things in it. Okay?
No,
And you don't get both. Okay? If you support Donald Trump's immigration policy, you support, okay, literal racist, literal Hitler quotes, okay, literal fucking torture. That is what you support if you support Donald Trump's immigration policy. If you don't support that, then I would advise you to stop supporting Donald Trump.
Okay, so here's the thing is I support some of what's happening, and again, I don't support the mistakes that ICE are making, but I support him saying that we should get illegal criminals out of our country.
Gotcha. If you still support Donald Trump for the things that you like, then that means that the other things aren't deal breakers for you.
They're not, because
they're not. So his racist policies, his quoting of Hitler, his calling fucking immigrants the vermin that's poisoning the blood of this country, him sending people to torture prisons, those things are not deal breakers for you. Okay, in order to freaking get people that you don't believe are here out, and that's what is sad. Okay, that is what is really, really sad. All right, but
there was two
you should go like.
Both
I don't
of
know.
them were clowns. So I voted for the one clown that I thought would be better. Obviously, nobody's great. That's unfortunate. Which, you know, what it takes to become a U.S. president is unfortunately probably pretty dirty. To get that high in politics for anybody is just not great, right?
Yeah, gotcha. So Donald Trump is literally quoting Hitler, and Kamala Harris did what to make her worse?
Kamala Harris, okay, that's a... You asked me why I support Trump?
No, sir. Donald Trump is literally quoting Hitler.
Okay.
What is Kamala Harris doing that's worse? I was just out of curiosity.
You've brought the quoting Hitler up quite a bit.
Because that's a pretty big fucking deal. The fact that it's not a big deal for you is a problem.
Well, explain it. Okay, you've brought that up 4 times now.
What has Kamala Harris done?
Hitler,
okay, that's worse than that.
She hasn't been president. I don't know.
Okay, you had a choice to make her president. Okay.
Her policies were non-existent.
Yeah, they were very existent.
When people asked her,
they were very existent.
She wouldn't talk about anything to anybody.
Did it all the time. Literally heard her hundreds of times explaining her policies.
And they've changed. She literally changes her policy from state to state when she was running. And
gotcha. Guys, this guy didn't read her policy. She changed a policy. Apparently, she had no policy, but also changed her policies, which is pretty impressive because this guy just said both. She had no policy, and also she changed her policy, and that is why she was worse than the guy quoting Hitler.
Okay. I went into this argument prepared to tell you why I supported Trump. If you want me to call you back in 20 minutes so I can organize an argument on why I don't support Kamala,
no, you should just rethink your argument because you're failing at it miserably. All right.
I wasn't prepared to debate this. This is not something
you weren't prepared to debate why Kamala Harris was worse than Donald Trump when your first thing out of here was Donald Trump was the better of two options. You weren't prepared to debate why Kamala Harris was worse than Donald Trump. Okay. And because so far your entire thing on Kamala Harris, because that was one of the first things you actually said when you came on this live, was that you thought that he was the lesser of two evils, which that dumb argument is. And so far you've gotten to she changed her non-existent policy.
She had a very vague policy.
A very what?
It was very vague. There was no, and it was ever changing throughout her short. She didn't really do any public. She hardly did public appearances when it comes to anywhere.
Public what?
Just a sit down. No. Listen. Let me finish. One-to-one conversations. She didn't do anything explaining her policies. She was very vague. She would just go to rallies and shout things that people agreed with, but they weren't policy. They weren't there was nothing for me to like vote on. Like that was the problem.
Sir, she had a very extensive policy list. Okay. I'm sorry that you didn't read it, or maybe it was too vague for you. Okay.
It was. It was very vague for me.
Yeah,
It wasn't something that I
way
was,
too vague.
it
Okay.
wasn't something that I wanted to support
Yeah,
personally.
you don't
So
know what was in her policies. Okay. You can't say the word vague. All right. So I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Like, she had a policy agenda. It was a very good policy agenda. You should have seen her immigration policy agenda. It was actually excellent. Okay. You voted for Donald Trump because you didn't look into Kamala Harris. Probably because, I don't know, either you didn't want to, maybe the fact that she was black or a woman or both scared the shit out of you. I don't fucking know why you didn't want to do it, but you chose not to. And so then you supported the guy quoting Hitler instead. Okay. So that means you're uninformed. That has nothing to do with
you
Kamala
gotta
Harris.
bring.
That has everything to do with you. Okay.
I love how you brought race into it again because she's
Sir,
black. Like,
no, we got into
that's
race
not
when
cool.
I called Stephen Miller a neo-Nazi and you didn't blink. I told you that Donald Trump hired a literal neo-Nazi into the White House and you ignored it like it was fucking nothing. You even said you knew who Stephen Miller was. I asked you and you said you knew who he was and you didn't care, sir. So that's when we got in a race. We got in a race a long time ago when you heard that Donald Trump was hiring racists and you were totally and unequivocally
heard that.
okay with it. You just moved on to the next
Oh my
conversation. Okay.
Yeah, I heard that from
Okay.
you. I need to look into that more.
You should look
I'm not
into a
gonna just
lot of
take-
things. You should try reading fucking anything that has words instead of pictures. I think at this point, Brad. But all right. So why don't you go do some research? Because it sounds like you have a lot of research to do. All right.
Yeah, and it sounds like you have a lot of anecdotal evidence to find for all your
Yeah,
claims.
you did. You
So-
thank you for reminding me of that. Can you please define to me anecdotal? Because you never did that. You ignored that. He ran. Thank you. He reminded me of that because he said anecdotal earlier. I asked him to define it and he didn't. I had forgotten about that. As soon as I reminded him of that, he was like, he just bounced. Y'all hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Eldon, thank you so much for that follow over there on Twitch too. I really appreciate that. We are trying to build up the Twitch following over there. We're gonna get up a few super chats and then we're gonna move on to the next caller. So if you guys support Trump, make sure you hit that call in button and we can keep this thing going. So I really hit that call in button, like your phone. Vag, bro. He didn't say vag. Anyways, sorry, too funny. Kimbo, thank you so much for the gifted membership. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Feisty, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. Huge W's in the chat for Kimbo and Feisty for the 11 gifted memberships combined. That is absolutely huge. Thank you guys so much. And another big W, of course, in that chat. If you got one of those. So I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Vag is gonna give me for a while. Freddie, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Says, tell me what he's saying. I'm like I'm 5. I think he was telling you what he was thinking, like he was 5. I think that's how that was going. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you. Freddie, Feisty, thank you again. Oh my God, Feisty back to back with a $20 super chat also. Thank you so much, Feisty. I really, really appreciate that. Huge super chat for Feisty again for that huge $20 super chat. I appreciate you. And Tatted Tech says Paulie doesn't want to zap random Hispanics. Oh, what a lefty. I rep the DoorDash gang. They bring me beat-ups. Dude, DoorDash gang be repping, bro. DoorDash, fucking that Uber Eats, dude, when the Uber Eats gang and the fucking DoorDash gang be going at each other, it's wild. They got like the green and the red going on, man. Freaking some of those fights going on in the Five Guys parking lot is wild, okay? Ain't nothing like you've ever seen. Thank you so much, Tatted. And Brad said, I can't read and I still endorse I still don't endorse Trump. You don't gotta read to figure that one out. Okay, you don't gotta read to figure that one out. Thank you so much, Brad. Y'all, if you like Support the Live, I do have super chats open. I do have memberships open, so if you'd like to support any of that, I really appreciate it. I also have something. Oh, pay links in my pay links in the link tree. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, they're all at Polypolitics. So if you like support, I appreciate that. But most importantly, make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. So thank you guys so much. Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
I am 30.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Why would you do that?
I still support Trump because I support any right-wing candidate that's not woke and doesn't believe in the fact that men are women and women or men could play in each other's sports and
Yeah, sir.
go at all the competition.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Can you please tell me which like prominent Democrat or any like body on the left was like, hey, I think that men should play in women's sports?
Yeah, Mike Sherrill. I live in New Jersey. She voted
Who?
twice for the Mike Sherrill. She's running for governor in New Jersey, and she's representative here in New Jersey, where I live.
So
And,
somebody who
she
doesn't
voted
hold a
twice for the
political. Okay,
transgender
sorry,
bill.
sir. I'm talking about someone who matters.
Oh, she matters because the elections are coming up on Tuesday. I don't know if you're aware about New Jersey. But
No,
it's part of
I
America,
don't
and
care.
the elections are coming up
I'm
on
talking
Tuesday.
about someone who actually holds a government position.
Yeah, she does.
You said she's running for governor.
Yeah, she's part of Congress. Go check her out.
Oh, okay. Do you have anybody I've heard of?
I just gave you a congresswoman. That's not enough.
No, I said someone I've heard of.
I don't know who you've heard of. You didn't hear of a congresswoman, so maybe you didn't. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know every congresswoman. Do you know every congresswoman?
Only the ones that are applicable to me. So that's what
Well,
I'm saying.
exactly. New Jersey isn't applicable to me, so I've never heard of her. Like, has Kamala Harris ever said that? Did Joe Biden ever say that? Did Obama ever say that? Did Chuck Schumer ever say that? Did Hakeem Jeffries ever say that? Did anybody who is literally holding a purposeful, like, position in our federal government right now, right? Like a big time position in any part of our federal government or like has that you know of ever said that?
Well, look at America. What's going on?
No, I'm not asking you to look at America. I'm asking you for somebody's name, like anybody who said that.
I'm asking you a question. Do you believe?
No, sir, you don't get
that
to ask
the
me a
Republicans-
question on my question.
I'm going to answer your question, but let me just. I was going to ask you a question to clarify stuff.
Sir,
Do you
there's a
believe that
point
what's
to my
going on
question.
right now? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the point is that if you want me to be completely honest with you, that's not even like a really democratic position, right? Here's what the democratic position is, and here's what the left position is, okay? Trans people deserve human rights. They'd be able to live without being freaking having laws put against them that make their life fucking, that make their life harder for no other reason than the fact that they're trans. All right. That they deserve the same rights and they are human rights and legal rights as anybody else in the United States does. Right? Like nowhere in the democratic like position whatsoever has been, we think that trans people should be playing in a sport. Okay, that's never.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen.
AOC?
Okay, sir.
AOC.
Sir.
Do you have your AOC? I'm just giving you another congresswoman that went out. That's all.
Yeah. Can I finish my statement first?
No, I don't want to.
Well, no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That wasn't really a request. Be quiet. I'm finishing my statement. Thank you. So while there's some individual freaking people within the government on the left or whoever that do believe and like really want to get involved in sports and all that sort of stuff, I personally take the idea that freaking sports are going to be sports. The leagues are going to run the leagues. They're going to create parity within those leagues. Okay, I really believe that if trans people were such a problem within these sports, they'd be dominating sports in some way, shape, or form. But that was never fucking happening. So I don't really see this whole thing, right? But hey, if there's some type of competitive advantage that exists that needs to be dealt with, then I hope that those sports, deal with those with those advantages and they make, the necessary adjustments in order to do them, right? Whether that's having trans people in them or not having trans people in them, it really doesn't matter to me as long as the sports are competitive. That doesn't cause any necessary hate towards anything, right? So my whole thing on trans people is that they should just live, and honestly that has been the the policy that I've seen from almost every single Democrat I've ever heard talk about the instance. So the only people I ever hear talking about trans people in sports is the right. Why is that?
Yeah, because the right. Yeah, that's because the people on the right have issue with that. See, that what you just finished telling me is that you have no problems with trans people playing in women's sports, biological males, right? Literally what you just said, as long as it's fair. Those two can't coincide. You cannot have biological males playing in women's sports. You literally had people.
Okay, awesome. Then let me ask you a question.
Before the fight even started.
Yeah, let me ask you a question then. How many trans women are playing in the WNBA?
I don't know.
Okay. How many trans people are playing on the women's national team?
I don't know.
How many trans women competed for the United States in the Olympics?
I don't know.
Oh. How many total trans women were there competing in the NCAA before Donald Trump signed his executive order?
What's the difference? What the number is? If it's one, that's not enough for you.
No, sir, because if you're saying that there's a biological advantage, okay, that there's a biological advantage to a trans woman playing in women's sports, then I would expect to see that advantage played out to where they are now taking over a large swath of these sports. Okay? But unfortunately,
you don't
what
think
we've
a
seen,
biological male
but
has an
sir,
advantage.
sir, but unfortunately, what we've seen is actually the opposite of that, right? There was a total of 0 trans women in the WNBA. There's been 0 that were playing on the Olympics. Not one of them have single made the team. There was 12 in all of freaking the NCAA, and most of them were not even playing in Division I schools. Okay, they were playing in lower division fucking schools. Okay, and the ones that were playing in some type of Division I school were losing most of the time. Okay.
Okay.
So if there was this huge competitive advantage, then why weren't they just winning all the time?
Okay. Let's. I know there's one famous example with Riley Gaines. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, sir. Okay, cool. You guys know Riley Gaines. You know Leah Thomas. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know 2. Okay.
There's a few more of them. I'm probably not thinking of them right now, but the
it.
bottom line is, I just want to go back to what you just finished saying.
Sir, Riley
You don't
Gaines
think that
got
the biological advantage-
Riley
One second,
Gaines.
I let you talk.
Sir, Riley Gaines.
I just want to repeat
Sir,
the question.
Riley Gaines
You don't
got
believe
famous
that
for
excuse
tying
me,
for
I let you
5th.
talk.
You know that, right?
One second. So I just want to ask you again. You don't believe that a biological male has an advantage over a female? Is that your position?
Of course they do, sir. I don't believe you give a fuck about women's sports. Name me 5 WNBA teams.
So one second. Now you don't care about women's sports?
No, I never did. I went and watched women's national team soccer.
You have children?
I do.
You have children that okay, fine. And if they were in let's say, hopefully could go to a good college and play for their basketball or volleyball team.
Sure.
Would you care? Would you care if a biological male was on their team?
Sir, you mean a trans woman? No, I would not give a shit.
So if your daughter was the best on the team and she would hold all the trophies, she would be winning all the games, then someone else would come and dominate, you wouldn't care.
Sir, that hasn't happened one time.
I'm asking the scenario. You said you wouldn't care.
Sir, that has happened.
Come on.
Sir, that has happened. Sir, I need you to listen to me. That in the United States has happened 0 times. 0. So I'm sorry, sir. I'm not going to sit there and be scared of something that's happened 0 times, okay, and make it my entire political philosophy, okay, on supporting a candidate, all right, because of something that has happened 0 times. Sir, if you want to sit here and live in fear and just be afraid of something that's not happening, not hurting anyone, not doing anything, and Donald Trump's policies are literally hurting human beings, hurting people, okay, then I'm sorry, I'm not going to agree with you. I have a daughter. My daughter plays in sports. She is in high school. This is a 0 fear for me. 0. None. Not even a little bit. Okay? But sir, to be completely fucking honest with you, okay, I don't think that the government should have any say in what is going on in sports. Okay? I don't want I don't want the White House telling me what is a catch in the NFL, okay? Or how many yards a fucking pass interference should be. Okay, I don't want them telling me what a travel is or how many steps a basketball player should be taking. I don't need my White House involved in sports, and I sure as fuck don't need somebody like you who does not care at all about women's sports somehow pretending like he does. Okay. You've never watched a women's sports outside of your life, outside of maybe like beach volleyball because you thought the girls were attractive. You could not name me 3 WNBA teams. You do not care about women's sports in the slightest. Okay.
That's 100% not true. I care about.
All right. Give me those 3. Give me those 3 WNBA teams then.
I just let you talk. Let me talk, please.
Yeah, right now, the 3 WNBA teams. I don't want to give you time to look them up. Give me those 3 WNBA teams.
I'm not looking anything up. I don't know it. But let me just finish. My point is that this country's headed in a very woke direction. If let's say Kamala would have picked, I think, Governor Shapiro from Pennsylvania, I think she would have had it in the bag. I think a lot of people on my side of the aisle would have came and voted for her. I think that the more woke the left goes, I think it's going to be worse for them. With Mamdani here in New York, I think it's totally going to mess up the entire city. I think all these free communist things he's putting out there, I just think that if you guys would just come more to the center, you would easily win much more elections. It's kind of dumb that you guys don't see reality.
Joe Biden was like
bathroom,
literally as center as you get. Sir,
No, I'm not done yet. I'll let you talk.
No, you don't let me talk on my live. You don't let me talk on my live, sir. No.
I let you talk for 5
sir,
minutes.
You don't let me talk on my live. I allow you to talk on mine.
I know, but it's still
okay,
like,
sir.
Let me finish my point.
Sir.
Okay,
sir.
We could still
Mamdani's not a communist. Okay, relax.
Mamdani's not a communist.
No, he's not. Okay, and he's not implementing communist things. Yeah, I do.
Every grocery, yes, so name it. Grocery run free, rent freezes, free
not
busing.
Communist. Not communist.
So what? How is that not communist?
Because what's the definition of communism?
The government provides everything, and there's no such thing as working for something.
Nope, it's a moneyless, classless, stateless society.
What was that?
It's a moneyless, classless, stateless society.
Okay, and what's Mamdani trying to do?
He's a democratic socialist.
Yeah, he's not going to be a democratic communist. He's not going to say he's one, but he's pretty close to one.
No, because you can't have a democratic communist. It doesn't exist.
Okay, fine. We could fall off the words of socialist or communist, but all these...
Well, they're very different. That's the point. So what I'm saying is, sir, is what you're actually seeing is you say, oh, you should run more center candidates and you'd win more elections. The funny thing is there is a center candidate running in the election in New York. His name is Andrew Cuomo, and he's getting his ass kicked. Okay, so
yeah, the problem is
just like there's a
Curtis
Sliwa
didn't drop out.
Yeah,
Curtis
sir.
Sliwa would drop out.
There's a leftist. There's a progressive running in Maine and a center candidate running in Maine, and that progressive candidate is winning. Okay, but see, when we actually put in center candidates like Biden, because Biden was a very center candidate. Incredibly center. So center that I didn't want him to be president. I thought he was way too far right for me. All right? Biden was a center candidate. All y'all do is talk shit on him. Okay? Kamala Harris is
woke and she lost and she picked Tim Walz.
How was she woke?
Tampon Tim.
Tampon Tim.
Yeah, that's the reason.
The avid hunter, sir. The avid hunter, the guy who won the congressional sharps.
That's why his name's Tampon Tim. Girls in men's bathrooms. You want to believe in that shit? That's what's going to happen with you.
That's actually not what the Tampon Tim thing even is about. Do you know the original reason why they started actually keeping extra tampons in schools? It's actually kind of crazy.
Listen, I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Do you know the actual reason why they actually started putting extra tampons in schools? It's pretty crazy.
Okay, great. Nice talking to you.
It's great for gunshot wounds.
Have a good night.
Yeah, they stop bleeding.
It's insane.
Isaac said, don't want to send you cash, but got to make the point that the so-called lady that won the Paris boxing XY chromosomes has XY chromosomes. You have a brain, right? You might want to look into that again. Yeah. Did you know what country she's from? She was from Algeria. Yeah. Do you know what's illegal in Algeria? Being trans. Yeah. She was assigned female at birth. So I do appreciate the $5. I love when people send me money to be wrong. It's literally illegal in her country to be fucking trans. You think Algeria is sending someone that's illegal to do that? I'm pretty sure she has a fucking kid. I don't remember. I have to look that up. I don't remember if I actually read that or somebody told me that. What was your name? Like Amani or something like that? Amani Khalif, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she won a lawsuit by somebody claiming that too. Anyways, yeah, she was born a woman the entire time. She was assigned a female at birth. You don't know what you're talking about, dude. But thanks for the $5. Next time, spend that $5 on a class on how to research. Appreciate that. And Betty, thank you so much for that $2. Says reporting you to the FBI for murdering Trump pansies. I appreciate that, Betty. Thank you so much. All right, y'all, make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, I really appreciate that. We're gonna move on to the next caller. If you guys would like to support the live, I do have super chats open and all that fun stuff. We're gonna keep this thing going and keep this thing moving. Become a member. Go do it. Go do it now. Go become a member. Love you. Love you long time. Let me open this thing up. I'll post some stuff. I think I gotta look up the kid thing. I don't have time. I gotta look up the kid thing. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
37.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Why would you do that?
I've seen a little bit of you, and you probably get tired of it. And if you want to discuss it, we discuss it. There's three main points. The main one is obviously immigration, like everybody says. The other thing is foreign policy, even though I'm limited in knowledge based on the stuff that I do want and seen, I liked. And then the third one is an unintended benefit that I wasn't aware of, how at least from the perception of what's been shown, it has been more religious or God-based. And I really enjoy that aspect of things.
Yeah, so you think Trump is more God-based?
No, I never said that. I said that the benefit of him being elected, I've been noticing more of a spiritual awakening from other Christians. God has been more in the forefront, prayer in the office, that type of stuff.
Oh, gotcha. So nothing really.
No, it is something. I didn't expect that to happen through by voting for him. It actually became a benefit that I wasn't even intended. It ended up being something.
So just Trump got elected, and just now everybody's just praying in your office all the time.
Again, I never said that.
That's literally
you got
what
elected.
you just said.
No, I said that you even see prayer in the national stage, where they're praying in the room right before it. You have a lot of prominent, even during the whole Charlie Kirk unfortunate service.
You do realize that like Joe Biden was like a devout Catholic, right?
I'm not disagreeing about that. I'm aware he was.
Yeah, there was prayer. He went and he did all that stuff all the time, as opposed to Donald Trump, who doesn't even believe in God.
I mean, you don't know that.
Well, I know he's not a Christian.
You don't know that either.
Okay, what is the qualification to become a Christian?
Well, very simple. Has he accepted Lord Jesus as God? Has he accepted in his heart? I don't. It's hard to question.
Well, actually, there's another part of that. The Bible says if you ask for forgiveness for your sins, right, and accept Jesus into your heart.
Correct.
Yeah, Donald Trump has said on television that he's never asked for forgiveness for God for anything.
No, that's not true.
It is very true. Yeah, it is
No.
very, very, very true. Yeah. He even specifically said on TV like a couple weeks ago that he's like almost definitely going to hell. He's not going to heaven, that's for sure. But he has said specifically, he has said
that's
specifically,
actually a very Christian answer.
yeah, sir,
Most
he has
Christians
said,
think-
sir, I know you want to jump to that other part. He specifically
Insane.
said that he has never asked for forgiveness from God for anything.
I don't believe he has, and if he has, okay, let me take your word for it that he has. People change. When's the last time he said that? Did he say that recently?
Yeah, it was like a few months ago.
That he's never asked for forgiveness from God.
Correct.
Those were his exact words.
Yep. Well, I mean, hey, not exact, but there's freaking, it's like almost dead on. I'm obviously paraphrasing.
Well, there's context involved in that too. How can you paraphrase? You can't just say something like that and then I find out.
Sure. Why
that
are you asking
that's
me for
not true.
context or something when you've never even looked it up? What are you talking about, dude?
But
You didn't even know it existed. Sir, every piece of word that I've just talked to you about is more context than you knew.
No, because I told you the context of the
More, 'cause you
consequence
used the word Christian.
of him being elected.
Have you
and
ever
how
asked
people
God
have
for
become-
forgiveness?
have, at least from a public perspective.
That's
been
a
more
tough
inclined
question.
to
I
forgive.
don't think in terms of, I'm a religious person. Shockingly, because people are so shocked when they find this out, I'm Protestant, I'm Presbyterian. And I
Because
go
you
to
said
church
that,
and I love
based on
God
what
and I
I've
love
seen
my church.
and heard,
And Norman
those
Vincent
words
Peale,
that
the
he said
great
they never
Norman
asked for
Vincent
forgiveness
Peale was
of
my
God,
pastor.
I've heard.
The Power of
I've
Positive
heard him
Thinking.
say that
Everybody's
he's not
heard of
deserving.
Norman
That's
Vincent Peale.
actually
He was
very
so great.
Christian. Like, most
He would
Christians
give a
think
sermon,
they're
you never wanted
undeserving.
to leave. Sometimes we have sermons, and every once in a while we think about leaving a little early, right? Even though we're Christian. Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, Frank, would give a survey, would give.
Oh, this part's boring. I'm trying to get to the fun part.
If I do something wrong, I think I just try and make it right. I don't bring God into that picture. I don't. Now, when I take, when we go in church and when I drink my little wine, which is about the only wine I drink, and have my little cracker, I guess.
I was going to say crack there for a second. Anyways, he said when he does stuff wrong, he just tries to do things right. He doesn't bring God into it.
Again, I'm saying that through his work, and as a Christian, I believe God uses people. Whether...
And what does God use Donald Trump to do?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What does God use Donald Trump to do besides, help out Epstein?
Like I said, good people do bad things. Bad people do good. Bad people do good things, and good people.
And
do
sometimes
bad,
bad people do bad things, like what Donald Trump does, right? Because sometimes it's just bad people doing bad things, right?
I'm not disagreeing with that statement, but God uses bad people all the time. Even when they do something bad, he makes something good.
Gotcha. But wouldn't it be a lot easier to just get someone in there that's good and actually a Christian, and then that would make it a lot easier for God to use them because they're actually listening? Let me ask you a question, sir. Where in the Bible does it say, "Thou shalt take away food from the needy"?
Let me see. Well, it doesn't.
Gotcha. Because that's what, I mean, Donald Trump is currently doing that, right? Like he's currently taking away, I mean, even before the government shutdown, was taking away freaking food benefits for, food from the most needy people in the United States, like 4 million of them.
The most needy?
Yeah.
How do you know it's the most needy?
Because you have to qualify in order to get them, and or qualify, you have to be the most needy.
That's not true. Qualifications are very easy to manipulate and do however to do it. I know people who do drugs.
Oh, gotcha. So I'm sorry, sir. Are you saying that the Bible says to take away food from people if you think maybe that they possibly aren't the most needy? Then we should starve them?
No, it's quite the contrary. You help them so they can help themselves.
Yeah.
But if they don't want to help themselves.
Where's the Bible say that?
When Jesus says pick up your cross and follow me.
That means that you should take food from people?
No, that means
I'm gonna need some more context on that,
take
sir.
your own way, follow me, and I'm here to help you, but you have to pick up your own weight. You can't.
So
just
when
be-
God said, like, specifically talked about feeding the poor and like how he freaking fed people with, like, you know, the 2 loaves and the fishes and all that sort of stuff. So like in the Bible where Jesus specifically feeds people, right? And I'm sorry, was there something in that story where he was like, well, actually we took a survey to see, you know, like who in the room really deserved it, to see if their qualifications really met, you know, like what we think, like if they could pay for their own food, you know, like we didn't give them any food or anything like that. But, you know, if they couldn't, then we gave them, like, you know, the fish and the bread and all that sort of stuff. I can't remember.
Why did he give those people food?
Because they were hungry.
Why did he give it to them? Do you know the
Because
story
they
behind
were hungry.
it? Sure. They were following him in the wilderness to preach and show he was the Messiah, and people need food, and he gave them food.
Oh,
Wait, are you
gotcha. So you
comparing-
think the
wait,
Bible
are you comparing
only?
Donald
So you
Trump
think
to
that the
Jesus?
Bible only says to
Wait,
feed
are
people
you
that
comparing
follow
Donald Trump to
Jesus?
Jesus? No, but are you comparing Donald Trump to Jesus?
No, you're saying that more Christian-like things are happening under Trump, and I'm asking how it's more Christian, okay,
Yep.
to
But your
take
question is
food
Trump.
away
I
from
told you that
children.
The effect of Trump's office has done a Christian revival, whereas the government is.
I guess that's what it is, sir.
doing
What
you're
the
saying
Christian
or not.
revival is taking food away from needy children. Wow.
But you're talking about from a government
Christianity
perspective.
sure has
Actually, I'm
changed.
glad you said that, because now I'm noticing that churches are now actually stepping up where the government was lacking, and people are going to church.
Why couldn't they do
because
that
they're
before?
actually getting met their needs, not just spiritually. No, they were doing it before, but now even more so. And
Oh,
now
gotcha.
people, instead of having
So-
to depend on a government agency to supply them, they're actually going to church, and they're getting not just fed, they're getting taught.
Gotcha,
actual
gotcha.
spiritual renewal,
So
as
what?
opposed
So
to
what
being
is? So gotcha. So the more
dependent
Christian
on
thing to do.
material
Sorry, I
life.
just need to be clear. So what you're actually saying is the more Christian thing to do is to take American tax dollars, and instead of using that money to feed people, right? We should give that money to the richest human beings on the planet, right? That way churches can literally manipulate people into walking in the door because they're starving to death.
But where did I say to get the tax money to give it to the richest people?
Well,
Where
that's what
did I
Donald
say
Trump
that?
is doing. He's using the money that was supposed to go feed them, and he's giving it to rich people
How?
by giving them giant tax cuts.
But that has nothing to do with the
Yes,
money
it does,
or the
sir.
funding
When
is
you
based on
give
the government
people-
shutdown.
No, sir. This was before
It's
the
still
government
available.
shutdown,
No,
sir.
the
Sir,
money
this
is
bill
not-
was passed. This bill was passed 6 months ago. Yeah, I'm not even talking about the current SNAP benefits, sir. I'm talking about the ones that were already approved before the government shut down. Yeah.
So now are we switching topics now? Because
No, sir, we're still talking about food benefits. You just don't realize that he cut them before the government shut down, and now he's cutting them again. Also, let me be very clear. The USDA has money that's set aside specifically to fund SNAP and food benefits in the United States in case, you know, there's an emergency, like a contingency plan, right? And Donald Trump specifically ordered them not to use it.
okay.
Cause God. Amen. Right? Amen. And thou shalt
just
not
told you
feed
that-
the hungry. Y'all shall starve them so that you can
What if the
manipulate them into going to church. Amen. I think is that in Ecclesiastes?
No, I just told you God uses bad events and makes something good out of them because that's what he does.
Gotcha. So what you're saying is Donald Trump is specifically a bad event, right? And Donald Trump is using
never
Donald
said
Trump
that. Again, you're
to try to
putting words
destroy
in my
America
mouth,
so that
dude.
he can save it.
You're putting words in my mouth that I never said.
Oh,
was a bad
gotcha.
event.
So
The
the
government-
president
now,
that
let me
you
ask this.
support, sir, the president that you support, okay,
Uh-huh.
that you are saying is bringing back a Christian revival, okay,
No, I never
is
said he was. I
starving
said it was an
fucking
unintended effect.
children.
An unintended effect of his reelection is creating a Christian revival. I never said he himself is doing it. The effect of him being elected is something I have not seen in my in my life. publicly praising the God in a governmental setting. I have never seen it. I have never seen.
What do you mean you've never
more
fucking
people-
seen it? It's happened at every government event my entire fucking life.
Nah,
Literally,
get
the
outta here,
words
bro.
"in God," we like, "oh, so help me God," are in like fucking everything.
I'm
What are
not
you
saying
talking
it's not
about?
there, but I'm saying glorified the way that it has. There's been such a stigma of separation of church and state that the
Yeah.
fact that this is
Yeah.
happening,
Such a stigma. You mean what's written in the Constitution
about what?
about the separation of church and state?
Then why isn't the Constitution all men's created equal under their Creator? That's a weird thing to put under the Constitution.
Yeah. Why is that a weird thing to put in the Constitution?
Where's the separation of church and state?
Because it
in
doesn't
that
say
statement?
which creator.
It doesn't matter. It's church. Church and state. It means
I believe my
religion.
creator was my mother.
I mean, she contributed to it. I'm not gonna say she.
I think she did. She did like literally all the work except for maybe like, you know, the 10 seconds my dad probably put in.
I'm sorry for your mom. I'm sorry for your dad. But endowed by their Creator in the reference to God. Now, if you want to say which God, that could be a whole argument itself. But there was no separation. Of
I'm pretty sure that's not even in the Constitution, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
I don't
it
even
is.
think that's in the Constitution. No, I'm pretty sure it's not.
It is.
I'm pretty sure it's
No,
not.
it is.
All right, let's look it up.
I'm pretty sure it is. All right.
Nope. Declaration of Independence. It's not in the Constitution.
Oh, okay. The basis of the Constitution. You're right.
It's not
The
the
one that we
basis
still
of the
follow.
Constitution. It's a line in the Declaration of the Independence. The Declaration of Independence is not the basis of the Constitution. The Declaration of Independence was something that was signed in order for us to leave Britain, right? That's not what the law in which we live under in this country.
No, we do.
No, we do not. We do not live under the law of the Declaration of Independence. We live under the law of the Constitution.
Right.
And that's not in the Constitution.
No, you're right. I'm realizing it is the Declaration of Independence. Yes, you are right. The closest thing to the Constitution is the year of our Lord in Article 7, which is kind of funny that it's secular, but yet it says in the year of our Lord in Article 7, which is
What's it say in Article
citing the
6?
Constitution in 1787. Oh, Article 6. Okay.
What's it say in Article 6?
I would have to see.
It says the country shall make no law prohibiting or endorsing like any religion. I mean, obviously I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember the exact words, but pretty much says that.
Oh no, qualification to run in office.
Hmm?
That's I think what it's a reference. That you need any religious qualifications.
No. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I think that's it somewhere in there. I think that's the only time God's actually mentioned in there, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, you're right more or less for the Constitution in that context. Yeah, it's more secular than the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. So I'm not a Christian. Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah. So I'm not a Christian at all. And I find it highly, highly disrespectful for religion to be in our government.
Okay. Then how do we counter one where I am a Christian and I find it highly disrespectful?
Yeah, that's easy. We just don't have it in our government because that's what happens when it's not in our government, right? Then you're free to practice what you want to believe, and I'm free to practice what I want to believe, right? And then that's not forced upon either of us, right? Because I don't think you'd want it, right? I don't think you'd want it if, like, say, like an atheist became president, and now they were doing things that freaking specifically went up on our government and said, you know what? Actually, fuck all Christians and fuck God, and we're going to take any mention of God anywhere out of our government. Would you like that?
Obviously not.
Okay. I mean, I would love that. I think that would be great.
Okay. And
Yeah.
obviously I would not.
But don't you think it's better if just like they just don't mention it at all?
No, it's actually worse.
No, it's not. How is it worse?
We were founded on these Western principles. of a Christian.
We were not founded on
ideology.
Christian principles, John Adams.
Yes, we are.
With the
Yes.
Treaty of Tripoli, which actually
No, you're
is a
gonna
founding.
misrepresent-
What?
Most of the founding fathers that are not just Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and John Adams, they find it on Christian ideology.
No, they did not. Actually, most of them were deists.
did.
The Treaty of Tripoli, which actually
No,
was
you-
one of the founding documents of the
how many
Constitution,
founding fathers
actually
do you think there were?
specifically, sir, actually specifically said, okay, that there is no funding of religion. John Adams specifically said that freaking this country would be better off if there is no religion. Okay.
No.
Yes, he did. Okay. And literally, even if they were Christians, okay, even if they were
They were more
Christians,
Protestant.
okay, sir, even if they were Christians, that does not mean, okay, that they founded the country on being Christian. Okay.
Yes, it did.
No, it doesn't.
Of
You could
course
be-
it is. That's what
sir. Sir, they didn't. Okay, that's why they specifically wrote in, okay, things like the Establishments Clause. All right, they specifically wrote in things like Treaty of the Tripoli. That's why they, especially like within the like certain things like the Federalist Papers, they specifically talked about that. Okay, this country is not a Christian country. This country was not meant to be a Christian country. This country was actually supposed to be an escape from a Christian country. Right? It was supposed to be a country that was removed from a Christian country because they saw the detrimental effects of what was going on, right, in Europe, in countries that actually did have intertwined government in between their government and their religion and church, right? And they saw that and they said, hey, we can't have that because that ruins our country. Right. So even if they did have some type of religious beliefs, which I'm sure a lot of them did have some sort of religious belief, right? If in some type of deity or another, right? Or maybe, multi deities or, or maybe none, right? Regardless of that, right? Of what they personally believed, they understood, okay, that having the country as a defined religion within our country was dangerous. Okay. And that's why they built it that way.
You know why they found it dangerous?
Because it's dangerous.
Why?
Why is it dangerous? Because because Christianity has been used throughout our history to commit some of the most violent acts that have ever been committed in the entire fucking world. The Crusades, for example, and that we can all like reach to. But we can even go smaller into things like the Salem witch trials, right? We can name so many different freaking religious, like Christian-based things. Hell, chattel slavery in the United States was backed by Christianity and backed by the church, the Southern Baptist Church. Okay,
Who abolished it?
so, huh?
Who abolished
Sir, who let it go on for so long?
Who abolished it?
Okay, gotcha. So if Christians abolished it, then we're gonna ignore the 150 years that they freaking let it go on and endorsed it?
So now we're going to ignore the fact that they abolished it?
Apparently you are, sir. Apparently you're willing to ignore 150 years for 100, for one.
Yeah, but you're apparently able to.
You know who
ignore the fact
abolished
that
it?
they did abolish it.
Progressives.
So the same.
Sir, you know who abolished it? Progressives did. Leftists did.
Christian progressives.
Yeah,
So Christian.
absolutely. Progressivism is much more Christian than conservatism is.
You're not even a Christian. How can you say that?
Because I've read the Bible.
So have I.
Yeah, I've read it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously more than you.
Apparently not. If you're saying that, if you're declaring who's a Christian.
Well, let's see. What do progressives believe in, right? Making sure nobody starves. The Bible specifically talks about that. Giving people things like free health care, all right? Making sure that they don't die of unnecessary disease. Giving and helping the needy, right? Helping freaking people that are immigrants, whether they belong in this country or don't belong in this country, treating them with some sort of humanity. Where the Bible specifically talks about treating the aliens in your country like one of your own, right? Treating people with humanity, right? Those are just to name a few off the top of my head.
Sure.
Right?
The Bible gives you guidelines of how to treat other people.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. But it's a guidance for you, not for governmental oversight. There's a reason why Jesus said, "Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, give unto God what is God." So no, we have to help ourselves in the community.
Yeah,
But the
sir,
other
that
thing
was
about the whole
specific,
foreigner,
sir. That
it wasn't like,
that was
help the
Jesus.
foreigner
Jesus
and
didn't
let him
say that.
stay here and do whatever he
Jesus
pleases.
didn't say that, by the way. I believe that was Paul.
Give unto God. Give unto.
Pretty sure that
Caesar
was
what is
Paul,
Caesar.
to be completely honest. And that just had something to do with taxation, right? That didn't have anything to do with treating people humanly.
No. It was about how how government's role versus God's role.
Right, sir. So what you're saying is, okay, is that you prefer a
Well,
government,
you want
sir.
the government to be God.
No, sir. God
Right?
tells
That's
no,
what it
the Bible
sounds
tells,
like.
sir, the Bible tells individuals how to act, right? And what
Exactly.
individuals, okay, should want to see happen. The ART is telling individuals, hey, you should make sure that you take care of your needy. You should take care of your poor. You should take care of your immigrants. You should feed the starving. The Good Samaritan, you should take care of, sir, the Good Samaritan, you should take care of those who are hurt.
Exactly.
Okay,
And
that
good
you
people
should do that. So when our government is doing the opposite of that, then that's not very Christian.
No, the government's role, sole purpose, is only to protect the citizens.
Is only to protect the citizens. And how is taking their health care away
And
helping?
sorry, uphold laws and protect the citizens.
Oh, gotcha. So how is
And it was
ripping?
Jesus
So,
who
sir,
responded to
gotcha.
that, by the
So
way.
how is the government helping, like protecting its citizens by making sure they can't eat or have health care?
I don't understand why you keep saying eat.
Because
People
Donald
are
Trump's
eating.
taking food out of people's mouths. There's already 1 in 5 kids in the United States that live with
He's physically
food.
going to
Sir,
them and taking out food out of their mouths. These people, there's no way that they have a job. There's no help that
isn't
they
it
have.
isn't it pretty
There's no
crazy?
local
Isn't it pretty?
communities.
Isn't it wild? Isn't it so wild how certain people who are Christians, okay, just find a way to pretzel themselves?
You're not
Okay.
Christian. You don't even know what
Neither
that
are
means,
you,
dude.
sir.
Because you judge me.
You're
by
not
my
doing
acts.
anything
If
that
you're
Jesus
Christian,
told you to do.
know that's not how it works.
Well, I'm pretty sure the
There's
Bible's.
nothing that you as a
I'm
Christian
actually
can
pretty
do
sure.
for
Actually,
your salvation.
does the Bible not say that I will know you by your fruits?
It does.
Oh, okay, well, I'm
But you
looking
don't
at
know me by
your
my
fruits
fruits.
right now,
You
sir.
don't know what I
And your
do. You
fruits,
don't know if I
your
help out
fruits
people.
are
You don't know
advocating
if
for
I can
starving
go to my
children.
local communities and feed the needy. You don't know if I actually go out, buy lunch and food for the homeless. You don't know that of me.
Sure, you're advocating
you
for
to know
starving
what I do?
children. Okay, that's your fruit.
You don't know if I give food to starving children. You don't know
No,
that,
sir,
and
I
you're
do know that
judging
you
me.
are currently advocating for a president that is taking food away from 4 million
not taking
fucking
any
people.
food.
Sir, you
He's not.
he is. He is.
How? How is he doing it?
Oh my
Tell
God!
me
I
how
already
he's
explained it
taking
to you,
people.
sir. If you can't figure it out, then go fucking pray
It's
on it.
Trump.
Okay?
Okay,
I've already
listen to
explained
me.
it to you. Now be quiet. Okay? What did they used to teach you in Sunday school? You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Okay? Try listening. Thank you. Okay? You were advocating for taking healthcare away from 10 to 17 million people. You were advocating for taking food benefits away from over 4 million people in this freaking country, not me. Okay, you are the one that is continuing to make sure that people now have even less affordable healthcare. Okay, because Donald Trump is refusing to renew ACA subsidies, which is why the whole government is shut down to this moment. Right? You're the one that is protecting the president that's an adjudicated rapist. Okay, the president that's a 34 times felon, the president that was best friends with one of the most well-known children sex traffickers that has ever existed on this planet. Okay, you're the one who's advocating for a president who defrauded a children's cancer charity, literally taking money away from children with cancer to put in his own pocket. Okay, you're the one who is freaking advocating for a president cheated on his first wife with his second wife with his third wife, and his third wife with a porn star, and then trying to pay her off so we didn't find out about it. Okay, you're the one that is freaking supporting somebody who called immigrants the vermin that are poisoning the blood of this country. Okay, who is freaking ripping children away from parents, who is freaking sending people to torture prisons, who is freaking advocating for freaking things like barbed wire and razor wire in the Rio Grande, drowning children and drowning freaking women. Okay, you're the one who's advocating for these things, not me. These things are not Christian. The Bible doesn't tell you to do that. Jesus doesn't tell you to do that anywhere in the Bible. He actually tells you specifically to fight against those things. Okay? He tells you to fight against those things. And instead of that, you are just cozying up to it and making you feel comfortable. Just wrapping your arms around these freaking horrific things. Okay? Everything. And while I have my problems with Christianity, I have a whole bunch of problems with with Christianity, okay? You trying to pretend like your Christianity is somehow involved in this presidency is a crock of fucking shit. And you should be ashamed of yourself calling yourself a Christian.
You have no idea. Everything that you have just said is so incoherently wrong. In the judgment of who I am, number one. Number two, of miscategorizing everything I said. Number three, this government shutdown takes two people to tango, not one entity. It takes two. They don't even want to open a reconciliation. Just enough funding to give money to these starving people that are being helped in other ways. But they don't want to do it for political gain, which that's politics. They're all playing with people's lives. That's one. As for every evil misdeed that Donald Trump has done, every Christian understands that there is not a single thing good about a human being because we are all involved
It's
in
so
sin.
fucking sad. That's such
Now,
a cop out
whatever history
sad.
differences with
That is such a cop out sad
dude.
fucking thing
That's
to
what
say
it is.
all the
A
evil
lot of people
sir.
that aren't Christian talk
All right, sir.
smack and they don't
Then that's
really
fine,
understand
sir.
the
Then
faith.
tell me, then
They
sir,
use
sir.
their ass
Then
off,
tell me you
they
support
wear
Hitler right
its
now.
skin,
Then, sir.
and
Then tell me you support Hitler right now.
I don't support Hitler.
No, you have to, because he's just a human being who makes mistakes. Also said he was a fucking Christian. So go ahead and say you support him, because you might as well fucking support him right now. You might as well go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you won't do
he's
it?
a
But
Christian.
I thought every Christian knows, okay,
I'll
that
tell you
people
this, every
make
Christian that you
mistakes.
tell them,
But
every
I thought
Christian that
every
you say,
Christian
"Hey,
knows
did
that
Hitler
people
make it to
make
heaven?"
mistakes.
Every Christian that you ask if Hitler made it to heaven, there's only one way that if they're a true Christian, they will say this: more than likely he did not. But if he truly
Oh, so
had
now
a
you can judge
God-to-come
somebody's
moment,
Christianity. So a second ago, none of us can
No,
judge
listen.
someone else.
If he
Hold on.
had
Just a
a-
second ago,
because
nobody could judge anybody else's Christianity, but all of a sudden you can. That's fucking crazy. Donald Trump has the
I'm not
House,
judging them,
sir.
but you don't
Donald
listen.
Trump has both House,
caveat
sir.
to that is
Donald
this,
Trump,
ultimately God
sir,
judges. I
sir.
can't
Donald Trump.
determine
No,
that.
I openly
I don't
judge.
know people's
I
hearts.
openly judge.
Neither do
Donald
you.
Trump's a piece of shit, and so are you. I openly judge. Okay?
I don't think I'm
I
shit.
openly
I
judge.
think you're out here
Donald
funny
Trump's a
fool,
piece
dude.
of
I see your
shit,
thoughts.
and so are
But
you.
that's besides the point. We disagree. We obviously disagree on this thing.
Yeah, I
You
like
categorize
treating human beings
people,
with
you
respect
attack
and
them,
dignity, and you don't.
vilify them, you make them look like a villain. I get it. That's a stake. It's great. But you're not listening. Every Christian.
Sir, why would I
felt
listen
the
to you? You don't
caveat
even know
of-
your own religion.
I know it better than you, bud.
No, you
can't
don't.
use- all you leftists that try to attack and wear Christianity as a skin to attack Christians. It
Oh, sir,
falls
let me be
flat.
very clear. I'm not attacking Christians. I'm attacking you.
By attacking me with Christianity.
No, no, no. I'm attacking you. You're not a Christian. Yeah. I'm attacking you. You're not I actually know some actual very, very great Christians. Christians who are actually
I.
appalled, okay, by this inhumane treatment of other
So
human
then-
beings.
so then the
Actually,
only way
I
that
would
there are
bet,
good-
sir, be quiet. I would bet that between, let's see, I have 1,100 people there, 600 people there, another 200 and something people there. I would bet, you know, with all of these almost 2,000 people that are in this live, I bet you I have some very, very amazing, awesome Christian people, okay, who are appalled knowing that more children in this country are now going to go hungry.
It's insane.
They're now going to go hungry due to Donald Trump's policies. Okay? I bet you there are tons of Christians in this fucking
That you
chat who fucking, oh, let me see. I already see a few that are already speaking up. Let's see if I have any Christians in here, okay, that think that this guy is absolutely abhorrent and goes completely against anything that God taught. Please let me know in the chat right now. I would love to see that.
You're doing it again. You're wearing the
I would
skin of
love to see that.
Christianity, even though you're not, based on your
Oh,
words.
but they are,
not
sir.
mine.
Oh, but they are, sir. But they are, and they
Yeah,
say
and
that
so then
you
let me
need to
ask
go
you
read
this.
your, that.
Any
Maybe, you know what they
true
say,
Christian,
sir?
by your
You know
definition,
what
that
they say,
supports
sir?
Trump is a
They
bad
say, you
Christian?
know what they, sir? They say, sir, somebody that truly has a freaking relationship with Jesus would never, okay, be so flippant about freaking having more starving children. Okay, because
Well,
Jesus didn't
tell
teach
them if
that
they're truly
a single
Christian
fucking
and
place
they have Jesus in
ever.
their heart. They know that through faith and grace alone you are saved, and you cannot judge a man's heart. Only God can, and that is biblical.
But
And
I can
that is
judge your
true.
works.
And it's
I can't judge your heart, but I can judge your works, sir.
Ultimately, God is
Sir,
the ju-
I can't,
is
sir,
the judge.
sir, I can't
Not
judge your,
them.
sir, I can't judge your heart, but I can judge your words, and I can judge your actions, and I can judge the things that
And
are
I
coming
can
out
do
of your
the same
mouth,
for you.
and I
You
am judging the
categorize,
fuck out
you
of them, and
vilify,
you
try to
are a
make
piece of
yourself like a
shit,
bad guy.
okay?
That-
And you know what, sir? To be completely honest with you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're the reason why people leave Christianity.
That's your opinion. I've luckily converted a lot.
Chat, can I get a bunch of 666 and hail Satans in the chat for this caller? Send him straight to fucking hell. Can I get 666 and hail Satans in the chat?
So now you're gonna go against all
Satan,
your
come
Christian
from
people in the
below
chat. You're gonna
and
make them do
rain
some crazy
down
devil worshiping
and
Yeah,
rain
okay,
down
and then
on
they're
this
telling me
caller.
that-
Hail
Dude,
Satan! Come and bless this
100%.
live.
Glory to
666
God,
is
man.
in the chat. Hell yeah, everybody. Can we get all the 666s in the chat? May the demons from hell this Halloween's Eve rise from the ashes. Ha 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 ha.
You're funny, man.
Yeah, just let you know, I left Christianity a long time ago, and a big reason of it is because people like you. Okay?
I truly hope
So-
you reconvene.
I will
do
not,
hope
sir. As
do
long as people like you
separation.
exist, I will never go back to Christianity, okay?
You'd be surprised.
So I hope
A
you
lot of
have,
people say
sir,
that, and
sir,
they get
sir,
back. I think you
sir,
can, and I think you will.
sir.
I think you will.
I think
man.
you need to go someplace and pray because your heart ain't
I-
doing too good, all right? So have whatever night you deserve, okay?
Thanks, man.
All right. Oh my goodness. Sorry, people that use their religion to try to justify inhumane actions disgust me. People that try to use their religion to justify inhumane actions disgust me. Straight the fuck up.
It's insane.
Straight the fuck up. Sorry. Straight the fuck up. Thank you guys so much for the 666 in the hell, Satan. I think I actually saw a big super chat come in for that too. W's in the chat for G-Marts for the Hail Satan, F this color, may Satan take his soul on this wonderful Halloween's Eve. All Hallows Eve. Coming to take this man's soul. Sorry, I almost said something. I forgot. I'm a big It's Always Sunny fan. I'm a big Always Sunny fan. If you want the boy's soul. Sorry. Thank you so much, G-Marts. I really appreciate that. 666 in the chat for them. CJ, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said, I'm a Christian and 1000% disgusted with him and the administration he supports. Amen to that. Thank you so much, CJ. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh, lady, I'm getting the witch cats over here too. Thank you so much for that on a Halloween. Yo, make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Scotty, thank you so much. Says many Christians trying to use their Bible to shield as a shield to hide their ignorance and hate. That's what disgusts me, Scott. That's what disgusts me. Truly, truly it does. Very, very sad. Thank you so much. VR said, I don't know how these people think Lincoln was for ending slavery. He wasn't. It was a completely different reason why he was doing that. But Lincoln would have definitely been a fucking progressive.
It's
He just
insane.
realized some other political things. But either way, that's just a history lesson. It was Jesus said about Caesar. Oh, I don't really care. That was about taxes. I don't really give a shit. Mommy said, hey, Paulie, this guy probably doesn't know about Ephesians 4:32. You have to remind me what that one is. I'm a little rusty. I was just talking to Ari about that. I need to get better on my Bible speak. I haven't talked Bible in a while. Thunder says, people not realizing you can be born with more sexes and chromosomes than in XX and XY. Yes, that is specifically what this idiot's talking about. That you could be born with XX, Y, XY, X different chromosomes, and there's different variations within those. Okay. And I believe that is what was happening with Amani or whatever. But again, that freaking that chromosome test that she took was completely debunked and had no actual basis in like anything. It was completely like trash. It was really sad that people still believe that. Super, super sad. Oh, and Mommy, thank you so much for we're saying Mommy. I'm gonna call you Remy. I don't like Mommy. That's weird. For the pumpkins, I appreciate that. This one says Christians and Republicans go hand in hand because both are created by lies and lack of education. Well, for somebody who went to old like freaking 12 years of Christian school, I will say they do slack on the education in those places, but I will say that much. But thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. Let's move on to another caller. Keep this thing going. Make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I will not be on tomorrow. All right. I will not be on tomorrow. So I will see you guys Saturday morning once I'm off. I'm going trick-or-treating. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well.
One
Hello?
second. One second. Stand by.
No worries.
Sorry, I had to berate
Quick.
someone really quick.
No, you're completely fine.
Anyways,
32, I am a Trump supporter.
awesome. So why do you still support
just
Trump?
wa-
Also, hold on, stop. Do you still have my live on in the background or something? There's an echo.
No, you're just on my phone. I
Check,
can close
check.
out all my apps. Bear with me.
Yeah, you got change out of Bluetooth or something. I'll mute you
Give
from
me
the crowd
credit.
so they can they don't have to hear this. Check. Nope, it's actually worse. Check. Yeah, I can hear myself, man. I'm gonna have to hang up the phone with you, dude. Sorry, man. I'm freaking. The echo is too killer. I can't freaking troubleshoot here all day. I only have so much time because I gotta be at work super early tomorrow. Todd, thank you so much for the air dancer. I appreciate that. I gotta be at work really early. Jet, gave yourself to Jesus. You are blasphemous. Like I already gave. Yeah, I muted the audio so you guys didn't have to hear that echoing. Like, are you saying I already gave? I'm confused.
Hello?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. 32 Trump supporter. I'm back again. Is it still echoing?
No, it's not echoing now. You're good.
Perfect. Yes, I do support Trump policies. I just have one quick question for you regarding this, though.
What's up?
Regarding the last call you just had.
Hail Satan.
You said Trump said he never asked for forgiveness for God. You are correct in that statement, right?
I mean, I played the video of what he exactly said.
You played
I
12
paraphrased
seconds
it.
of the video and half what he said. I didn't hear what he said. But do you know the revised statement that he had in 2016?
I don't care.
Or were you saying what he said was recent?
Couldn't give a shit, honestly.
You do have to care because it contradicts what you said as a copy.
No, I don't. Hold on, sorry. Are you telling me what I have to care about? Sir.
Forgiveness. Sir.
I'm sorry. You don't get to tell me. Sir, you don't get to tell me what I care about and what I don't care about. And whether Donald Trump is a Christian or not means less than nothing to me. Okay. You're already you've been muted, sir. So you can keep yelling that all you want. Okay. You are. Okay. I don't care. No. Hey, I'm going to say this one more time, okay? I don't give a fuck. Okay? I'm not debating. I don't debate.
Go get clips and likes.
I don't debate. I'm actually very clear on here that I don't debate. Yeah, I know. That was a full crash out. He was just screaming stuff. I muted it so you guys didn't have to hear him. It was very sad. I've made it very, very clear on here multiple times that I'm not here to debate. I'm here to have conversations with genuine people. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
I'm 20.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Do I support Trump? Of course I support Trump.
That's a weird statement.
How is that a weird statement? You asked me to support Trump. Yeah, what was weird about that?
I know, but you could just say yes.
support
But then you said,
Kamala?
of course I support Trump. That's weird to just be like, of course I support fascism. That's weird. Like, it's just a strange statement, man.
All right, let's talk about it like my boy Charlie.
Okay.
So what's going on?
You said you wanted to talk about it like your boy Charlie. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying I fuck him. I love lowering taxes, doing tax cuts, and deporting people. I love that.
Yeah, gotcha. So whose taxes is Donald Trump lowered?
Middle class, higher class, and lower class, all taxes across the board.
Incorrect. Actually, the taxes that he put in his big beautiful bill just extended the current tax rate. They didn't lower it whatsoever. And his tariffs
Yeah, I
are
know.
actually are actually an import tax on importers that gets passed down to the consumer. So therefore, it actually is going to, in the long run, increase consumer taxes specifically on the middle class.
Do you know whose tax policy we were under? Do you know the original tax cut act that Trump passed? You know we were
Yes,
under that one for a
yeah,
minute,
that one.
and he extended his original tax cut. You
Yeah,
know
and
that,
how
right?
much was the middle class
So
tax
this is
cut?
his
in
tax
that?
policy.
How much was the original tax cut for the middle class?
Oh, I gotta go check it.
It was about 1 to 2%. Yeah, and how much was his tax cut for corporations?
That's actually I want to pause you right there. It wasn't 1 to 2%.
Well, sir, I asked you what it was. You said I don't know. So what you don't get to say I don't
can't
know,
pull up the
sir,
exact number.
sir. So when you don't get to say I don't know, and then when I inform you, say that's not it. Because if you knew that wasn't it, you would have given me the number to begin with. Okay, so you don't get it both ways. You didn't know the tax reduction, and that's totally fine. That is totally okay. Okay, that is totally okay. All right.
I'm actually pulling it up right now. You're trying to
I
control
thought
the conversation.
I thought we
I'm
were
not gonna
debating
listen.
like your boy Charlie. Their boy Charlie doesn't have to pause and wait to freaking figure out what the tax
Oh
code
wait.
was.
So individual tax rates lowered across the brackets. The top rate reduced from 39.6 to 37. So it's actually around 3%. Child
You
tax
just
credit
said that
doubled
was
from
for the
1,000 to
top
2,000.
earners, sir. You just said that was for the top earners.
Yeah. I know,
Sir, I'm
but it
not
lowered across
talking
the
about the
bracket.
top earners. I'm talking about the middle class.
All right, let me bring it to middle class now. Middle class. Example, the 15% bracket dropped down to 12%. So what about that?
The 15%.
I can bring you my source.
Where
It's cool. I can
yeah,
bring
where
you my
are
source.
you? What are you looking at?
All right, I'll bring up my source.
Just tell me what it is.
The Tax Policy Center.
The tax policy center. I knew you were going to say them
Yeah,
too.
tax Policy Center.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say them.
So yeah, nothing I'm saying is cap. So for sure, but
Yeah,
I
why
love his
don't you
tax
type in
cuts.
tax policy center and
yeah.
then look up media bias?
Hey, but anyways, tax cuts. for
No,
the rich is okay
sir.
too.
Why
You
don't you
know-
go ahead
know
and
why?
type in tax policy center and then look up media bias?
You can say that to anything. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest.
I can, and I do
most,
to pretty
like,
much everything.
Oh, so see, but that doesn't refute that. That's what occurred. You know that occurred, right?
Okay,
like,
sir.
This isn't biased.
Sir,
This is
it
what
didn't
actually
occur.
occurred.
Actually,
Anyways,
most statistics say between 1 to 2%. Okay, and you know what? Fine, sir. If you want to say that my number was off that it was between 1 and 2%, and it was actually 3%, fine,
Yeah.
whatever. Not even worth me
Yeah.
fucking arguing about. What was the corporate tax
mean,
rate reduction?
the corporate tax rate reduction, I'm not too sure. What was it?
Well, why don't you go ahead and
know,
Google
right?
that up too?
It went from 35 to 21
Which is a reduction for what?
for corporations.
Gotcha. So what you're telling me is Amazon got a 14% tax cut and you got a 3%.
Do you know why?
Why?
It stimulated the stock. It stimulated the stock market. It boosted the economy. Do you know how corporate tax rates and tax cuts for the rich work?
Yeah.
They invested back into their companies. They hire more jobs. This isn't this has been proven. If you tax cut these companies, they will hire more employees. They will expand their business. That's just how.
Actually, they
business
don't.
works.
We actually have proof of that over
They
the
do.
last 3.5 decades. Okay. Because that would be what's called trickle down economics. Okay. And trickle down economics has
And
been
Reagan-
debunked, sir.
You're gonna say Reagan debunked it. I get it. I mean, I heard
Reagan
it
didn't
so many
debunk it.
times.
Reagan put it into practice. Okay.
Yeah, and then
And it
then
pretty
his
much
advisors debunked it,
single-handedly
whatever.
destroyed the middle class. Okay, but we've
It
seen
didn't.
different forms of
Wait.
trickle-down economics through the Bush economy, through the Bush economy again, through Trump's first economy, right? And we have seen that that companies do not invest that money into new products. They do not hire more based off that. They don't do any of those things, right?
But they
let me
do.
ask you a question. When do companies like open new factories or new stores?
when do companies open new factories and new stores?
Mm-hmm.
It depends on the company. If they have
Sure.
franchises,
How about this?
like
When
really,
does
this is
Walmart
too
open a
broad.
new
This
store?
is way too broad. Huh?
When does Walmart? It's not
When
too
does
broad. This is
Walmart-
economics 101. But when does Walmart open a new store?
I mean, they do market research, select sites.
That's great. They do that. And what is that market research looking for?
Is looking for consumers.
Correct.
Population.
Right. So based off of demand, right? Walmart opens a new store. All right.
Yeah.
In a spot where there's demand, right? Is there enough people to justify it for us to make money off that new store? Okay. Walmart doesn't open a new store or hire more people because they got a tax break, right? Because
Maybe
if
they
they
do.
can, but
That's
they
where you're
don't.
wrong.
But they don't.
I have a question. So
No,
what
sir,
do they do with the money?
I'm still explaining this to you. So just
Okay,
just
continue,
give me a second. You should try listening. Okay. So just give it a sec. Okay.
Continue.
Walmart isn't going to say, hey, we can pay 50 people to run this store, but now we got a tax break.
Insane.
So now we're going to just hire 20 more people that we don't need, okay, because we got a tax break. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. They're just going to run the store for the 50 people because that's going to save themselves money,
Insane.
right? So what they do is they usually end up taking that money and doing things like stock buybacks by giving giant bonuses to their CEOs. What you actually see is the amount of money that actually goes to the richest people that actually own and run the company actually increases significantly, while the people on the bottom are still left at the exact same pay scale and they are not creating more jobs or giving them raises.
So you're telling me that all of the tax money went to bonuses to the CEOs? That's a terrible statement. That's completely false. That's not what happens. They invest in new equipment. They invest in new technology and facilities, hire more employees. This is just factual. You can look it up when there's tax cuts and
I have
how many
looked it up.
new employees are hired.
Yeah, I have looked
All right,
it
show me
up.
statistics. All right, I can show you statistics.
Sir,
When they
do you
get
know
tax
how-
cuts, they hire more employees.
Okay, well, let's talk about right now. Okay. So Donald Trump's having.
This is the trend. This is a trend. I'm telling you about the trend.
Sure, we can talk
The
about
trend
trends,
is they hire new
but I tried to
employees.
talk
That's
to
factual.
you. I tried to talk to
You
you.
can't refute that.
Yeah, I tried to talk to you about trends, and you obviously can't listen. But well, that's okay. Who's cutting jobs right now?
Who is cutting jobs? UPS, I think, cut jobs. There's 3 other companies. I was actually reading into this. Yeah.
Oh, there are
What's going on
so many companies that are cutting jobs right
Yeah, I
now.
know.
Amazon's a
It's
big
due
one.
to
I think
AI.
Amazon's cutting like 30,000 jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of it is
Target's
AI.
cutting jobs. I believe Walmart's cutting jobs. There's like just so many different
wasn't
companies
Walmart.
that are cutting
Walmart
jobs.
didn't cut jobs.
So let me ask you a question. So
No,
Donald Trump's
Walmart. Okay, Walmart didn't cut jobs. Let's just get out the way. They didn't cut jobs.
all right, sir. I don't need Walmart in order to freaking make my
You're just
make my
listing a
point
bunch of
whatsoever.
companies. I'm
Okay.
just saying, look,
So
and then when I
if-
refute that,
Sir, I don't care.
I just-
Then take Walmart out, sir. See, you're just like as dumb as that last guy, okay? I'm not here to play a semantical game in a dumb, like cat and mouse, poorly debated argument with somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about.
I mean, you're just wrong.
Okay.
Bro. I'm just pointing that
Okay.
out.
Yeah.
love to
Yeah.
point out when you're wrong.
Sir, you,
That's all I do.
okay, sir. You had to Google the tax rate. Okay? Shh. You're literally trying to freaking justify trickle down economics. Okay? You are not equipped to have a debate with me. Do not try. But if you'd like to have a conversation, I'll have one with you.
Wait, were we not just having a? Okay.
No, we are not having a
did we
debate,
not
sir.
just- not
This is
we're
not a
we didn't have
debate in the
convo?
slightest.
So when I fuck you up in the debate, you can't say shit, and then now it's not a convo. Is that what happened?
Sir, I don't think you could fuck up a sponge in a debate. Okay?
I'm like, you're corny, bro. I'm gonna just point that out. What
Okay.
did you just say?
You also
Did you
probably
just
couldn't
say a
fuck up
sponge?
corn.
You ain't never made the class
Okay.
laugh. I'm gonna just be honest.
All right?
Anything else you want to talk about? Deportations? I'd love to talk about deportations.
With you, absolutely not.
Oh, so now you want to concede? Thank you. Hey, chat. The host has conceded. Shout out to my boy Charlie. Shout out to my boy Nick.
You did great, man.
Yeah.
You should go give yourself a pat
All
on
right,
the
have a
back.
good, hey, have a great night, bro. You conceded.
Yeah,
Thank you.
go give yourself a pat on the back, bud. He did awesome. Charlie would have been so proud. Charlie would have been so proud.
It's insane.
Charlie would have been so proud. Remy, thank you so much for the pumpkins again. I really appreciate that. Amlikara? Sorry, I don't know. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. I'm sorry. So it's always relaxing watching your streams. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad it's relaxing for one of us. I'm glad it's relaxing for one of us. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Loyalty, thank you. Through apparently don't understand economics, Paulie. Thank you for teaching. Thank you for teaching MAGA actual economic facts. I was trying with them. I really was. I was giving it my best shot. Okay, I really was. Okay, you can only lead them to water. Y'all, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Woo! Angelo said corporations do stock buybacks. They do not invest in their employees. Amazon wants to replace employees with robots. This caller is delusional and is replacing their employees with robots. But hey, maybe now that soybean farmers are going to be able to export again, maybe all those people that worked at Amazon can now go work in on soybean farms since there won't be any immigrants to do it. We'll see how this works. I'm curious to see it. Oh, this should be interesting. God, I just fucking hate this timeline, don't you? I'm sorry, someone's name just shh and just said goodnight, and that is just fucking great. I don't know if you're gonna be around to hear this, but that is fucking funny. Lovely Goddess, thank you so much. Says Professor Paulie is not getting paid enough to educate Trumpers. Hopefully this donation helps. Hey, it does so much. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lovely Goddess. Tim, thank you so much for the $10. Says, hey, Paulie, I work for General Motors. And since Trump took office and passed the big, beautiful bill, thousands of employees have been laid off or terminated. So what the fuck is this guy saying? I don't think he knew. Okay, to be completely honest with you, I don't think he knows either. All right. So he is crazy. But yeah, I don't, but he won the debate, guys. He got me to concede. So that's what's really important. Right? That's what's really important. And Loyalty said Charlie would not like, would be like, not my guy. Sorry, you would say it like him. Sorry, that confused me for a second. I couldn't even say that for a second. That was wild. Well, thank you so much, Loyalty. I appreciate it. Charlie would be like not my guy. All right. What time is it? Do I got time for one more? I guess if it's not a super, super long one, I got time for one more. Since I'll be off tomorrow. I do gotta go get some sleep though. All right, we'll try one more. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit that like button. Become a member, become a super fan, become a subscriber over on Twitch. Gift them to others. Do the thing. Hello, how are you?
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
I'm 21.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, I do support Trump.
And why would you do that?
Because I have my own opinion. I'm 21 years old. I'm a grown man.
Congrats, sir. I'm not asking if you can have your own opinions. I'm asking you why you have them.
Like I said, once again, I'm a grown man. I got my own opinion. Your ass a bitch too.
Sir, you know what grown men don't have to say?
Your ass a bitch, boy.
You know what grown men don't have to say? That I'm a grown man. Oh, I can't pin that. Oh, I want to pin that comment so bad. Ah, God, it should allow me to pin while I have a guest up. Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate that. Ari's comment was great. He's a big boy, guys.
It's insane.
He's a big boy, guys. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Dude, how old are you?
21.
You know, I just can't even handle. I already can't handle you. Hello?
Hello?
Nope, not you either. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 17.
Well, definitely not you. Hello?
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Great. How old are you?
I'm 29.
All right, I guess that's the best we got then. Do you still support
What
Trump?
do you mean? Yes, sir, I do.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, if I was hoping for somebody in their 30s. You know, I just needed,
Oh,
I needed
I'll
some,
call
like,
again on Sunday. That's my birthday.
that's your birth. All right, well then you're close enough. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But if I had to talk to another like 20-year-old, I was going to toss my
dude, that
computer
20
out of my fucking
No,
out of my house. Yeah.
that 21-year-old man, he had you, man. I'm sorry, he definitely had
Well,
you.
you know what? I have to admit when I'm beat, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I get smoked by people, but yeah, if I had to like I only got about 2 people between the age of like 22 and 18 and I don't even talk to 18, 19 and 22 or 23 that can handle a night. After that, I'm like, "Oh my god, it just can't do it anymore." Anyways,
Oh, good.
so
goodness.
so why do you still support Trump? Why would you do that?
Well, I'm a small business owner. I do. So, okay, let me preface it this. I'm probably a good representation of the majority of Trump supporters. I don't want to say we're like simpletons, stupid, like we don't like stay involved. Like I'm working nonstop. I'm a business owner. I have 2 employees and just from last time he was in office, whenever I was working under another business owner, he kept talking about the tax cuts. I was able to talk about, keeping money like in the business so we could grow the business. And it was great, up until COVID and, everyone has their opinion. He didn't handle it well. Well, where's the manual for this? Well, that's a whole different thing. But during the time Trump was first in office, we did like the fact that the taxes allowed or were being cut, and we were allowed to keep money within the business. Now that Trump's back in office, and I'm a business owner now, and I'm looking at it like, okay, this is going to be good. I'm looking forward to the tax cuts, keeping money in the company. I will say this, I guess it's kind of a me being a hypocrite real quick. I had 2 Guatemalans, man. They were great. And then ICE got them. I'm like, no, not them.
I was not ready for that part of the conversation. I'm sorry. Anyways.
Yeah.
I
yes, sir.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Anyways, I just wasn't ready. All right. So here's where I'm going to tell you something. Okay. And like,
yes, sir.
And and this is really just talking to a lot of the people that are out there. Okay. This is really talking
Yes,
to a lot.
sir.
Foxy, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. This is going to a lot of people out there. So I live in a very red county. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I work every day, just like everybody else does, right?
Yes, sir.
And I work in a blue collar job.
Insane.
Okay. And I
Yes,
work in a
sir.
blue collar job. And I was just telling Ari about this. Okay. And I was just telling Ari about this. I think one of the reasons why I am so why I enjoy doing this, why I think I have a different perspective than a lot of people that do this, okay, is because when I go to work, there are a lot of people that have the exact same sentiment as you right there. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So, and I'll give an example of this, okay? And guys, I know I'm sorry. Like I want to get this out. I'm getting someplace with this crowd, so just give me a second, okay? I'm getting someplace with this, okay? So I have a guy that I work with, all right? And he told me, I've heard him talk like shit on the liberals, right? In the office, right? He's talked about
Yes,
liberals, like poorly about liberals, about bad people. I've heard like bad shit about like Biden. I've heard a whole bunch of stuff, right?
They're making the frogs gay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, and I've
I'm
heard a whole
imagining
bunch of
this character.
yeah, I've heard a whole bunch of stuff about like negative about liberals, right? And so we were sitting in the office, and one of my other coworkers who does know, that I'm on the left and all sorts of stuff, brought up something about Israel and Gaza, right? Just brought it up to me, okay?
Yeah.
And he brought it up to me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, they're working on this ceasefire, but there's been a bunch of other ceasefires, all sorts of stuff." I don't talk much about politics at work, right? Bad for business,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yeah, terrible
Yeah.
for business.
Well, this guy who was a super Trump supporter, right? Big Trump supporter, big like whatever, just stopped and went, "I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't give a fuck about what's going on overseas. What the fuck is going on here, and why is the fucking government shut down?" Right? I had another one of my coworkers today, right? That was specifically talking like was just like, "Look, dude, I don't even understand this government thing. I don't even know how any of this shit fucking works, right? I just want things to fucking work." Right? I just want things to fucking work. And so
Yeah.
I do think that there is a large group of, sorry, guys, I was getting there someplace with this. I'm telling you guys, okay? I'm sorry. I really am getting into this, okay? I think that a lot of people are like this guy, right? I think that there are a lot of people in the United States that are just like, "Look, I don't really know what the fuck is going on." Right? I don't know what's going on with my government. I don't know what's going on with politics. I don't know what these policies mean. I don't know what any of this stuff means. I want to go to work. I want to live. I want to freaking be happy. I want to go to work. It seems like my business is doing a better here. It seems like it's not doing better here. And what else do I have to relate it to than just this guy who may be the president or whatever? Okay. Brought this back to, sir, I understand that you believe that under Donald Trump's first presidency that things were going really good. Okay, but this is why it's important to actually have a general understanding of politics. All right?
Yes, sir.
And that is because the policies that presidents make matter. Okay? And those policies don't always go away because a president left. Some policies from presidents last for a long, long fucking time. You know what I'm saying? Decades, right? Half a century. And some of them go away, before they even leave office or at the end of their office, okay?
Yes, sir.
Here's what you need to know, okay? The Obama administration had our economy humming by the time Trump took office. Trump took office, and because he gave those corporate tax cuts in his first term, all right? There was certain subsidies within those corporate tax cuts that did help some small businesses. I'm not saying that they didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, what they did help even more was large business. Okay? And unfortunately for most small business owners, the tax cuts and the tax subsidies that were given to people like Amazon, that were given to Target, that were given to Walmart, okay, helped them to more strongly take over the business that small businesses are doing. All right? And when you're seeing other things like the tariffs that were on China, those type of policies directly affect small businesses, over 1 million small businesses in the United States, right? Soybean farmers, who a lot of them don't even run their own business, are we're actually being handcuffed. Since Donald Trump's first term, we're actually being killed. Currently, Nebraska cattle farmers are being killed by Donald Trump's policies, okay? So while these tax cuts might seem okay and temporary for a moment, and then things like COVID, right, come in and throw our economy on like head over heels and kind of destroy us, right? Doesn't mean that Donald Trump actually really helped your business, and it doesn't mean that Biden hurt it, and it doesn't mean that Trump's policies were actually going to come back in and help you again, because Donald Trump's policies led us to a recession, right? Actually, we've had a recession. The last 10 recessions that we have all come under Republican presidencies, and nobody gets killed more by recessions than small businesses.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right. That was a lot of shit to say.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing is the reason I'm saying I said all of that to say this is like, guys, like,
yes,
I know what you guys like. I know that you guys think that what he said was bad, and it was. Okay. But that is how the normal people around you at your jobs, that's how the majority of them think. Okay. So just understand that. Like, and that's what I was trying to get you guys to listen to. That's what the people that you go to work with every day, that's how they think. Okay? It just is. All right? So just being honest. Again, that's not exactly a slight at you, sir. Wasn't trying to be.
Oh, no, you're fine. No, I mean, I think it is important for people to understand that, like, a lot of guys like me, I'm a father, man. I'm worried about my son, I'm worried about him getting new wrestling shoes every year because kids, they keep on growing. I'm worried about just putting good food on the table and this and that. Just and don't get me wrong, I do think there's value in being educated in the ongoings of everything. Like me, I'm trying to get more into it. I remember last time I tuned in, and you can fact check me on this. Someone said we're in a recession, and they're like, well, they changed the definition of what a recession is, and then someone said no, they keep moving the goalposts to save like Biden's. I'm like, and just like how people were talking about, I didn't like it. I'm like, listen, like I like confrontation in sports because that's where it belongs outside of war and just like unfortunately and like some people have to deal with confrontation and all that, but just within like at my dinner table with my friends, I think civil discourse is great. Talking like you and I, like me not telling you I'm a grown ass man and I have a rights and opinion, like that PhD guy that you were just on the phone with before me. Like, yeah, that's not the way to talk to people. But
let me tell you this,
I'm
sir.
letting
As
yes,
a
sir?
small business owner, okay,
Yeah.
This is what I'm gonna do before I get offline. Right, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna explain to you how the Democratic position is better for small business. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. Just think about that next year when you're in the midterms. Okay, and if
Okay.
the things I say sound good to you, okay, then just consider that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Specifically, the Democratic position is to specifically help and subsidize small businesses to give tax cuts specifically to small businesses, okay, and use the tax benefits from large businesses in order to fund those things. Okay. Also, it's to take the money from those larger businesses, your Amazons, your Walmarts, the people that squeeze out small businesses, right? Tax them at a higher rate. So it pushes that money down to the middle class. And when the middle class has money, they spend more money. And when they spend more money, it stimulates the economy. It stimulates specifically small business, right? I think that the majority of Americans would rather spend it at small businesses. I know I would, right? But they don't really have that choice, right? Because so many people are living on such tight budgets, right?
Yeah.
That they are forced to buy more things from larger businesses because they can get a better price. And then those large
Yeah.
tax cuts allow those large businesses in order to push small businesses out, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
while the Republican side might seem better for business, it's actually much more concentrated at large business, at the most rich people in the freaking world, right? At your Amazons, at your Jeff Bezos, at your people like that. Okay, those are the people that it's concentrated on. While the left is all about making sure middle class, small businesses have money to operate in order to keep the economy moving that way without money stagnating on the top of businesses. That was a
Okay,
very
I
quick
do
and short version, but yes.
Yeah, no, that's a lot more well spoken than the guys I see at the coffee shop. So thank you for that.
I do
have
this a lot more
question-
than them. So
Oh yeah, no, you're a lot better at it, so I appreciate that. So I do have a question. Okay, so me, like I'm small business because I started 2 months ago. I started 2 months ago, and I have 2 employees, and I pay them well if they ever need extra money. Like if there's no overtime, I'd say here, man. Like, but these are my friends that I'm paying, but I do want to scale up. I don't want to stay a small business. I do want to pay people like good wages. I want to pay them for their worth. I do want to grow this business, but now here's always like kind of what I've heard people talk about. Like people saying, I don't want to stay a small business. I don't want to be a greedy like bastard or anything like that. Like I'm not chasing money. I'm chasing like an empire, a brand. I'm chasing this and that. Like, but so, and I'm not going to say any business names, but I have an uncle who's doing very well for himself, and he is, and his company is worth 8 figures, and it's not up to me. He's knocking on 9. You know what I'm saying? And I was talking to him, and he said, he said the American dream is to get like this. We're Mexican. He's a first generation Mexican American. He said your grandfather had no idea what I was building. He came here to pursue the American dream. I'm getting there, and now they want to take all my money. So like for me, and I'm not, and I do think there needs to be fair balances and taxes and this and that. But now he feels like, what's the American dream mean? And he pays his employees well. They have insurance. They have this and that. But he's like, is the American dream for me to get so big that the government comes for everything I have? And and he's like me. He's not like he doesn't want to get over political. He doesn't want to get over mad, nothing like that. He's just like what why did I chase all this just so that I can get taxed to Kingdom Kong and have my you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say, but it's just not right. The problem is that rich people don't realize they're rich, and they freaking hurt their own businesses, and they hurt freaking people around them by not being taxed correctly. See, here's the thing, and I don't know what kind of business that your uncle has and all that sort of stuff.
Construction.
All right, awesome. Construction, right?
Yeah,
Build
yeah.
houses?
Yes.
Okay, cool. He builds houses, right?
Yes.
In order for him to build houses, what needs to happen? People need to be able to buy houses, right?
Yeah.
And he can't build houses if people don't want to buy houses. Okay? So if he's taxed correctly and all his people around him that are making in the millions and millions of dollars are all taxed correctly, and we use that money to subsidize housing, okay?
Yeah.
Then housing becomes more affordable. Therefore, people are buying more houses, which means he can build more houses, which means he actually ends up making more money in the long run. Okay? Some of the most successful business times in this country, the tax rate was over 80%. Okay, for the upper classes in this country, and we had some of the most successful economies on this planet, and we've ranged all the way from like 40 to 80%. Like we've had huge taxes for corporations. Right now, the Democrats are trying to raise it back up to 28. Okay, 28. Like Kamala Harris' exact policy was literally raise it back up to 28 and then use that money to subsidize housing. She was specifically going to use that money to pay private companies to build more houses, all right, to help increase the supply of housing in the United States. So he would have been paid more for taxes to then get subsidized more by the government to build houses, and then more people would be buying his houses, so therefore he'd have more housing, so therefore he'd be making more money than he is right now.
So I will say this. So funny enough, I'm not gonna say like which mortgage company, but their names rhyme with Banny Bay and Brady Back. So I do a lot of private general contracting for them, and they have their hand in a lot of like Section 8s, HUDs, and this and that. And like why I've never, so I'm also a veteran, so I know
service.
Military grade. Thank you, sir. I know military grade means lowest bidder, and I know subsidized housing is the same thing. Like I'm actually repairing a house in this community I'm in, and it's of lower grade. And when the tenants left, they were upset because they had to leave the house, and so they tore up the place. So I'm repairing the ceiling, I'm repainting. We have to get like if there's so much like human feces and this and that. Like I don't like the culture that some subsidized programs have. And don't get me wrong, I do believe we do need a safety net for those that need it. But I believe that sometimes we overextend to create a culture of entitlement where, brother, I'm telling you, this house I'm working on, it is disgusting. It is gross. They were upset that they had to leave. So there's like 3 holes in ceilings I had to repair. There's this and that.
Okay,
and,
real quick.
Yes,
I totally understand. First of all, I have to know what branch you were in.
Marine Corps.
I knew it, Corey. See, I knew it. I can pick out the Army guys, dude. I knew he wasn't one of them.
Yeah,
I knew he wasn't one of them. Okay.
We're gay too, but we're gay in a cooler way.
Sir, she wasn't trying to, Kamala Harris wasn't trying to build Section 8 housing. She was trying to build middle class housing. Housing that
that's what I'm working on.
People that would have bought houses, single family, standalone houses. Okay.
Yeah, these are.
No, you said Section 8 housing.
Houses. Sorry, I misspoke. Sorry, I'm a Marine, man. You know we don't know that many words. But no, so
the red crayon tastes the best though. So
I don't. So okay, it is a single family dwelling. It is it was a government program. I'm not sure which one. I don't know. Any questions?
Sure, this wasn't government programs.
Yes, sir.
These were single family houses for single family, middle class people to buy.
were they going to so okay, here's my question to that. So was the government going to control the price of like how much these houses could go for?
No.
And I'm not trying to be confident. I'm genuinely curious.
Sir, no, they weren't. Okay.
Okay.
The only thing they were doing is increasing the supply. If you increase the supply of something, the price of all of it goes down, right? If that makes sense, right? Like if I make something, right? If I make chairs, right? And I make this one-of-a-kind chair, that price of that chair is very, very high. If I make 3 of those chairs, okay, it's a little less valuable. If there's 1,000 of those chairs, then the price of the chair goes way down because there's 1,000 of them. If there's 1,000,000 of those chairs are worth just every other chair. Okay? So it was increasing the supply of housing in the United States because right now one of the biggest problems with our housing industry is there's just not enough houses. Right? There's not enough houses to accommodate the people that want to buy houses. Right? So it was going to subsidize, and you from your uncle that builds homes probably knows that actually middle class houses are not always worth the money depending on which area you are to build. Right?
Yeah, no, that is very true. There's
so the government was going to make it worth their while. That's all it was that, hey, I know that building middle class homes isn't going to gain you as much money as buying higher class homes, right? So you build the middle class homes and we'll make it worth your while to just build them. And then the buyers, right? We're going to give you things like first time home buyer down payment assistance, right? You don't have to, like, maybe your down payment is going to be like $35,000. You're gonna do 50 of it, and the government's gonna cover the other 20 of it, right? Just so you can get in the door of your house, and then you're gonna make the payments. It's not gonna change how much the house cost or how much the house was sold for or anything like that. It was just going to allow it to do it, right?
Okay.
So these are things that would have helped people. This is not the same situation that you're talking about. I know that your situation is probably very difficult, and I understand what you're talking about, right? But we're talking about literally paying single like companies like your uncle's to build solid, good, strong houses for young Americans, right? You said you're 29?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're still young until Sunday, right? So
yes, sir.
Whenever your birthday is, right? You're still young. So people like you to be able to buy single family housing, right? Like and to be able to have some of the benefits like you get. Like you said, you're a veteran. You get things like the VA loan, right? You get things where you don't have to put down, a down payment on a house in order to buy a house, right? Well, it was going to extend part of that benefit to other people, other young people like yourself that wanted to buy a house. But that's what it was for. But hey, sir, I do have to get on the phone with you. You do sound like a very nice guy, all right? But I do have to get on the phone with you just because I have to get offline for the night. But I hope you have a wonderful night, okay?
All right, yes, sir. You have a good night, sir.
All right, you too, man. Bye. All right. I am going to have to get offline. I'm going to run through a couple super chats real quick. Claude, thank you so much for the $5. Said, MAGA make America goofy again. How the fuck do you have the patience to talk to them? I'm a grown man and have brain cells. God bless you. Hey, I'm just doing my best. All right, man. I'm just doing my best. And Freddie, thank you so much for the $5. And hang on, bud. Make it a fast one. Well, it's fast enough, so that's fine. He was a nice guy. I like ending like that. There ain't nothing wrong with ending like that. That doesn't bother me in the slightest. T said the problem is high tax rate means companies can incorporate in other countries with lower tax rates and still says goods and services in the U.S. And services into the U.S. Many companies have zero need to accept high tax rate. Oh, yeah, but we've shown proof over the last 3 decades that they don't do this. Yeah, we've seen that companies don't leave when we tax them higher. Actually, as Donald Trump says, lower taxes, we've seen more companies leave since we've lowered taxes than they have the other way around. Funny enough, but thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Dimitri said you have some teacher level patience some days. And Mick says, St. Pauli, patron saint of critical thinking. Yeah, corporations stay where the money is. Exactly, Electric. All right, y'all. I have to get offline. I do have to get to sleep at a decent time today, and I have to finish some laundry. So, hope you guys are have a wonderful night. I will see you guys on Saturday morning about 10 a.m. Central. Love you guys. Hit that follow button. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys on Sunday. All right. Bye.